Welcome to Benchmonster TV.
I'm Ashley Lynn Condre.
And I am the Benchmonster, Ryan Kennelly.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a special guest we're very excited about.
Very excited about, yeah.
We won't waste any time with
no.
our stuff.
No, let's roll right into our guest. You know, we booked him a long ways out, and we scheduled the date, and today is that date.
Today is the day.
And everybody should know, I put the YouTube thumbnail up on Facebook, so we should get everybody in here shortly. We'll twiddle our thumbs just a little bit so people have time to get in here. But let's start out with a little intro here about Brian Forbes, and we're going to bring him on because Ashley's got 22 questions to ask. 26 questions to ask, and we ask that people in the chat box please ask questions in there too. You know, we want to pick Brian's brain here.
Questions, comments.
We got the guy's the 14th man in history to bench press 1,000 pounds or better. So, I mean, you got to take advantage of that, people. Let's see. I'm going to play a little video, and I'm going to go over some of Brian's credentials here, and then we'll bring him on. As I play this video right here, this is his 2015, obviously. Brian self-handed off 840 pounds to himself. Now think about that for a minute. On October 19th, 2019, he bench pressed 766. On March 8th, 2020, he did an 810. July 4th, 2020, he benched 821. November 7th, 2020, bombed at his first try at a grand. March 22nd, 2021, 760 in the overkill, first comp in a multiply. August 7th, 2021, 1,015 right here. 14th person to bench press 1,000 pounds or more. 10th all-time biggest bench for now. Biggest bench in Nebraska history, hell yeah. Biggest attempt in Nebraska history to his knowledge, and I bet it is. Self-trained out of the Rattler's Den, Seward, Nebraska. Shirt-trained out of Jimmy Grandick's Big Iron Compound. Man, he's all in the right places too, man, to kick some ass. So without further ado, let's bring on Brian Forbes. Brian, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you, sir. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
It's a definite honor to be here.
Right on.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know it's later where you're at, so we appreciate you staying up late with us.
Yeah, burning the midnight oil. Let's get these questions going.
Should we start? Okay.
Yeah,
we're going to jump right into them here.
Jump right into them.
No wasting time.
Ashley has some questions.
Okay. When and how did you get into powerlifting? Lifting in general and then powerlifting, unless that happens.
I would say through high school I did it because it was something to keep me focused.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in life, it was just kind of one of those rude awakening wake-up calls that you just kind of need to get your life back on track. You got to lose some weight.
Yep.
You know. So I would probably say it was maybe 7 years ago. Started back at the gym, just started doing, just that starting point, little bit of weight, little bit of weight, little bit of weight, little bit of weight, just growing and growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of became that addiction that I needed, to kind of keep focused, get some kind of solidarity in my life.
Yeah.
And then, so I would say, going into my first competition, I would say that's when it really got serious. Went through some coaches just because of, distance. I needed more of the hands-on, but it just wasn't available here. So it was a lot of self-training, self-handoffs, all the way from when I began, on the wooden blocks that my fat pad was sitting on that I posted before. And it just kind of went from there. I did a meet raw. I want to say I ended with like a 365, which, it was all right. And then I tried a 392, got about halfway up, and it just stuck. And then I said I was never going to lose to that weight again. But then I made something clicked, and I'd, go to the YouTube videos, and I would see like guys like, yourself, Mendelson, and, the big time benchers. And it was just like, man, those guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Those guys are absolutely insane. And it was the Mendelson tech pair, or the pec tear picture.
Yeah.
And then it was you with the
Bloody eyeballs?
Bloody eyeball, bloody Sunday.
Blood running down. And it was just right there that it was just like, man, those guys are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That kind of seems like something I want to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you get online, you buy your first shirt, you try to move that weight, and even though it was to a 4 board, it was like 600 pounds in your hand. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it was basically right there. So I would probably say within the last 6 years total, but it wasn't up until the 2019 meet that it was. I got my first shirt. I was using the Bench Daddy at the time, so it was like, I tried to find a meet that was that was accepting the band shirts.
Right.
So it was just it was a good run meet up in Omaha, just about an hour and a half away from where I live. And the dude that ran the meet, he okayed it. It was an XPC meet.
Mm-hmm.
So with Dan Deeg's approval, they both said it was okay. So they invited me up to go lift, and I tried 725, didn't get it. So I was like, well, need a little bit more weight to get that shirt to come down.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's go 766, and went down, smoked it, locked it out, got the good lift, and then I went to 805. And I got halfway up, and it just stuck.
Damn.
And I wasn't gonna let it win, so I just told the spotters no, that I wasn't gonna drop it. So they took it, and me and a couple of my friends, I looked at them and I was like, I'm proud of what I did today.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm gonna vow right now that I will never lose to 805 again.
Right.
So my next meet was the Arnold Classic, where I met you.
Okay.
And it was the last man standing. So you start low and you go until you can't bench no more. So I got to an 810, and all I needed was that 805. So the 810, I got it down, got the press command, locked it out, no problem, smoked it. And I ended up losing to Richie Putnam.
Oh boy.
So I got second overall, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, no, totally. And you touched like some of the next questions you'll kind of have already answered, but I'm gonna go for asking them anyways.
Okay.
So like the next one you kind of touched on, but what was your first powerlifting meet? How did it go, and how did you feel afterwards? You kind of
it was the Omaha Barbell Open. It was in Omaha, Nebraska, obviously run by Brett Carter, the owner of Omaha Barbell, and I bested with a 766.
Okay.
And at that point, I definitely knew I had more, and it was just get back to the gym and just get back to training and get towards bigger and better numbers.
Gotcha. Did you start out equipped or raw? I know you kind of answered that already.
I did the first one raw, but even when I started really lifting, I would go raw, but then I would use the use of the slingshot so you can get that little bit of overload.
Totally.
And then I got every level of the slingshot. So I got the red one, the yellow one,
Black one,
and the black.
Yep.
So and then you obviously it was how many reps can I get in the red one at 315 to 350. And then it was like work technique with the yellow one, because it puts you in a little bit more tricep coverage.
Right.
So it gives a little bit different descent a little bit. And then you had the black one, which was the strongest one.
It was like a double ply.
And then it tried to fully overload with that one. So I would say both.
Okay.
But it wasn't up until 2016 that I actually tried a shirt for the first time.
Okay.
and then I just lost interest, went back to the raw side.
Oh, you did.
And then it was, got a hold of Mike Womack and got a bench daddy, and we went from there.
Gotcha.
So
So you kind of went back and forth.
I'm definitely not raw. I hate raw lifting.
Hey, Brian, I got a question for you. What's the strongest bench band that you have, like a slingshot type apparatus? What's the strongest, most aggressive one you have?
Actually, I used the Fate Customs Widowmaker.
Okay.
I have the single ply by itself, the 1 and 2, the combo.
Who makes that,
And
Brian?
then,
I see, who wears that? Not Jimmy Cole, but Tony Carlino, I think, wears it.
Yes.
Who makes it?
Yes, Tony. Well, I think since he's sponsored by Anderson Powerlifting now, or Titan. I think he can go back and forth.
Okay.
So yeah, those are what I use. I would say the most aggressive one that I own is I also have a 3-ply one that I've never actually used yet. So I'm only using the 2-ply with the 840 self handoff.
Okay.
The 3-ply is so tight. Like I can still get my hands spread by myself, but to actually get set, I would definitely have to have somebody bring that weight to me, so I can let that wiggle in. I'm not going to try to self unwrap 840 pounds.
No, sir.
If I'm not completely set up. So
no.
Yeah, I got a couple of them from Darkside Iron Gear. One of them's an Atlas, and one of them's called the Colossus. And I put on that Colossus 5 weeks ago and did 1035 to a 3 board, and that's about as far as it went down, and it popped up pretty damn easy. And it's a real aggressive bench band. So once I get my C6 vertebrae impingement gone, I'll get back in there and bench again. Right now I'm kind of handicapped, so having a problem with a nerve right now. So that's
prayers for quick healing.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Didn't mean to interrupt the questions. Continue.
No,
I'm going to jump in once in a while if you don't mind.
No, dude, we just conversate.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Sorry, I lost my spot. Okay. What? Well, you already. What were your numbers at your first meet? You already answered that. You want to answer it again?
760, right?
766.
66.
And with the numbers that I was choosing, I had like a last second scare. It was my last warm up. I think it was like, I want to say it was like 660 or something. And my entire right foot just whoop.
Oh!
just slipped out.
Ooh.
Then everything just kind of tipsy turvied. And then the teammates that came with me that day, they're like, "Are you sure you want to open that high?"
After that.
So, no, I'm a bench only type of guy. I was like, I get 3 lifts. So my personal philosophy is train for a number that you want, and then build past it a little bit, and then make sure you can hit that number every single week or every other week from that timeout, and then every week once you get a couple weeks out from your meet. And then obviously, the weekend before your meet, I just kind of go through the routine, keep everything to singles or 2 boards or 1 boards, never take it to the touch, save that bottom energy, and just kind of relax the rest of the week. Just kind of go to work, let that, let that whole thing just kind of sink in and rotate,
Right.
Just kind of make those adjustments mentally in my head. That way, when I get to the meet, everything is like calculated. I feel really good about that number that I'm opening with, and I get 3 tries. Hopefully it goes on my first one, because then I'm going buck nuts.
Yeah. Right.
After that, because I got the number that I want.
Right.
So I'm not worried about the little PRs. I just, I'm not worried about the trophies. I'm not worried about the awards. It's just, God puts us on this planet to do something, and this is what he gave me. So I'm gonna do it until I can't.
Right.
and my family is going to support me until I'm done.
Nice. Like it. Who was there somebody specifically that got you into powerlifting? You know, you kind of talked about this, but
I would, yes and no. It was always about like the bodybuilding, like I need to look pretty and blah, yada yada yada. Same song, same dance.
yeah.
And then once it just got to the point to where it was like, I can definitely handle this weight. It's just like, why not? And then like we talked earlier, I see pictures of you with the blood coming out of your face, Scott Mendelson with the nasty pec tear, and just to go down the list, Tiny Meeker and his and the impressive numbers he was putting up, and just everybody just went with the sport. I didn't know their names. It was just I see them benching.
Yep.
And then it just kind of took off, and I believed that I had some talent. I believed that I could be good. I believed I could be better than what people thought I could do. And I just kind of set a goal for yourself. No matter how small or how big, if you're gonna set it, be ready to do the work.
Right, totally.
Because if you're not gonna do the work, the success ain't gonna follow.
Right.
So,
Brian, what did you weigh when you did the 10-15 body weight?
I want to say it was 321.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
But I'm just a relatively big guy. I've always been.
Okay.
Like if I wanted to drop weight, I could probably drop weight.
Right.
Probably about down to 285.
Yeah.
But just over the last few years, it's like when the winter comes, I pack on a few pounds. And then when the summer comes, it just kind of fizzles off. But it was just,
I agree with that.
With how I'm built, it was just if I'm going to attain that number, I'm gonna do what it takes to get to that number. Because I honestly believed I could reach it, and I was going to do anything it took to get it.
Yeah, weight moves weight, that's for sure.
But on the other spectrum, seeing dudes, push that type of weight in the poly shirts, working with them both, you definitely get a true love for one, and definitely a different true love for the other. But I believe if you train in them both, dude, they complement each other really well.
Right.
Because you get a totally different pop out of the overkill than you do with the band shirt. A totally different move with the band shirt compared to the poly shirt. So using the poly going to the band shirt, the poly shirt's going to make you stronger in your lockout.
Right.
Yeah.
The band shirt, it's a lot easier to get that weight down at the bottom, but you're having to keep your entire body tight to get it there.
True.
So when you carry that over, now it's making that poly shirt a lot easier to work with. So I personally think that they really complement each other, and not a lot of ways, but definitely if you train them both, I've definitely grown an appreciation for both of them.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So I think we already kind of know the answer to this, but more for our audience. Are you a full power lifter or bench only?
I'm a bench only guy, but I do have a promise.
Promise.
To my coach's wife, Mary Grandick. I love you, Mary. I did promise her that if I got 1,000 pounds, that I would do a full power meet.
Oh boy.
So I do have a promise, and if I do a full power meet, I know I'm going to be a big guy going into it. So I'm not looking for the Gloss Brenner.
Right.
I'm not looking for that differential. I just want a 2,000 pound total.
Oh, that's simple.
Nice. Okay.
But it will all be done in multiply.
Right on.
Okay.
So it'll be the overkill. I've talked with Rudy. We're gonna possibly see about getting some briefs and a suit.
Nice. Okay.
Going from
There you go.
Okay.
So
That kind of leads into the second part of that question, which was, do you, if you were bench, because we know you're bench only, so we were wondering if you train your squat and your deadlift. Sounds
Yes,
like
I
you either do or you will be.
yeah,
do.
they're both absolutely terrible.
Doubt that.
I definitely need to work on them. But no, like if I really put myself into a deadlift, I could probably squeeze out probably about a 550 to 6.
Okay.
And then squats, I worked up to a 450 for 3 sets.
Okay.
The other day, so they're not they're not great numbers, but I think with Jimmy Grandick in my corner, I think I could probably put up some decent squat numbers.
Totally.
With some time with his
I agree.
coach.
I agree.
Yeah. That
So
2 grand.
I would say that I have a pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah.
Like with I'm gonna name drop with Jimmy, Mike Taylor, Colton Majors, a WPO lifter, David Atley, and a couple other all the guys at the compound, including my favorite, Rita. She's this woman's in her 60s, man, and she is killing it. We're talking world record caliber, world record holder for her age and weight group,
Right.
and it's just being able to be around that, even though it's 2 times a month, like being able to go in that atmosphere, that it's family close. They welcomed me in right off the get go. It's definitely become kind of a Saturday sanctuary where I just get to go in and put whatever I need to on the bar, and I know I'm safe.
That's nice.
So, and knowing what I can self hand off, that goes into the mental game of being able to do, and being able to get what I need done.
You're surrounded by some elite people, though. That's really good.
That's huge. Huh?
Yeah, I'm definitely blessed to have, thanks to Donnie Thompson. He directed me that way.
Oh, right on.
I gotta give a shout out to Mr. 3000 himself.
Mr. 3000.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of your favorite accessories for the bench and for the squat and deadlift?
Okay, this is my accessories for the bench. There's more bench.
Yeah.
I'll try to bench as much volume as possible because I want as much setup practice as possible. Right. I want as much tempo practice. 5-second lowers, 3-second holds, explosive presses. Mix it up with 3-second lowers, 5-second holds, explosive press.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't with my shoulder the way it is. I don't do speed bench. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. Floor press, it's hit or miss, so I don't do it a lot. I would probably say my favorite is just more bench.
Okay.
Because it's if you and this is just my philosophy is if you want to get really good at something, you got to do it.
That's right.
Right. Totally.
And the main goal is when you have that weight in your hands, and it's just that god awful heavy weight.
Yeah.
If you have that perfect setup, that weight feels like nothing.
That's true. Very true.
So the more time, even if it's self-handing off, even if you got your 3-man handoff or your 1-man handoff, 3 guys that have never handed off to you in your life, if you can, if you can bring yourself to self-hand off more and more and more, that's just improving your game.
True.
I can load into my bar and self-hand off 840 pounds. So now when I put my shirt on and I get under that bar, mentally I know I can load into 840 pounds and unrack that and make it feel like nothing. So now you put that shirt on, you're loading under that bar with 100, with 1,015 to 1,030. And when those guys hand it to you right in your sweet spot,
Yeah,
that feels like nothing.
that's right.
Right. Make heavyweight easy.
And all you got to do is just get down there, get that press call, and all you got to do is really focus and hone in on the finish. Because if you can get the touch, all you got to do is press.
True.
So it's working everything that goes into that press, because you can touch. You've already established that. You know what it takes to put on that bar. You know what you can control. All you got to do is focus on that press.
Hey, Brian, that 3-second down, 5-second hold. What type of bar weight are we using on that day?
It all depends.
Depends.
I normally do my 1-ply Widowmaker,
Okay.
and it can be anywhere from 450 pounds to 600
Okay.
pounds. So it just
Is that a different day than max effort day, or is that a dip?
I always change it
Okay.
up. I lift how I feel.
Okay.
So if I do my heavy shirt day is always on every other Saturday when I go to the Big Iron.
Okay.
If I'm here at home, I'm either in my 1-ply, my 2-ply, or every once in a while I'll hop in my overkill,
Okay.
and I'll have a buddy come over and just kind of hand me off, and I'll play with the 750 to 850 range.
Okay.
Just so I can keep that feel
Okay.
of that shirt. Really start to work that press power that's going to transfer over to my bench.
Okay.
So it's
Well, you just gave me an idea, and that's something I'm going to incorporate with my guys and try those methods too in our training. We need to switch some things up, and it's great to have guests on like yourself, where I can take something from you and incorporate it into our training, because that's stimulus they're not used to, and I think it'll benefit them. So
Game changer.
because also like I'll do like a really high volume for like a 2 to 3 week stint,
Okay.
to where I'll start off like my first week I'll hit like 20,000 pounds of volume.
Okay.
That's just in the gear. So that's within the 1-ply, the 2-ply, doing triples, 2 sets of triples, and just working my way up in the real heavy weight.
Okay.
So my goal is, what do I need to do to break down my CNS every bench session? And then after my bench session is, what do I need to do to start my repair?
Right.
So it's just basically a shock the system type program. It can work for everybody, because all you got to do is plug in your numbers. If you know what you can do perfectly for a triple,
Right.
you go up and say 10 pounds, you're getting 2, but then you're struggling for that 3.
Right.
Work that volume down to where you're getting them for that perfect 3. And then once that perfect 3 starts feeling really, really, really light, now you can go up 5-10 pounds.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's work, and more work.
Okay.
Okay. What was one of your favorite, most memorable meets that you've done?
I would have to give it to the 10-15, and it's not for the 10-15. She's not really my aunt by blood, but I've been within that family for lots of years, and she's been diagnosed with 7 different cancers.
What?
Oh wow.
So she was just getting over one, and then she was possibly diagnosed with another one in her thyroid.
Oh shit.
So I put together like a little fundraiser to raise some money to give to her. And at the meet, we kind of did like a 3-minute. We played Elton John's "Your Song."
Oh wow.
For the passing of her late husband,
Right.
Oh, okay.
who also died from cancer.
Oh jeez.
So it was like leading up to the actual lifting, like it was pretty heartfelt, really heartwarming.
Wow.
And then, we obviously did the national anthem. And then once the lifting started, I literally just kind of stood there, had all my stuff on, got my warm-ups in, and I was literally just standing there, just staring at the bench. And it wasn't even like, it didn't even register that people were lifting. I was just staring right at the bench and just rocking back and forth, because that was the same bench that I bombed on my first attempts.
Oh.
So my autograph with a big bomb on it was right next to the left side of my head.
Right.
So I knew it was there. I had that like, not this time. Not this time.
Right.
So I had all that emotion. I had all that focus. I get in my little prayer stance. I say my little prayer, and then all of a sudden I hear "Go, Daddy" from my son.
Oh.
And right then and there, it was done.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew it was mine.
Yeah.
And then I tried 1050, and I totally lost.
Yeah.
Just got down, got the press command, had it pressed, started going, and a couple years back, I tore my bicep, and it's one of those little indicators that the touch is right there.
Right.
Well, right as I get to that point, I start to press. It twinges because everything just kind of buckled in a little bit, and then it was kind of trying to fight that gravity.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything coming from the left side. It just so I didn't want to injure myself, so I bowed out for my third attempt, and I walked away with the 10:15. And after I came off the bench, my coach Jimmy was right there. I gave him a hug.
Yeah.
And my dad was right there, so I gave him a hug. And then my kids and my wife.
Nice.
So, and then I
man.
had my Aunt Susan there too, and all her family,
Yeah.
and my sister, her husband. So everybody that meant something to me, they were all there.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
Makes it super special, huh? Okay.
but now it's on to bigger and better numbers. So
I hear you there.
Gonna up that, get that up there.
I'm not quite done yet. So.
Want to add to it a little bit, huh? Very impressive number.
I want.
Very cool.
And for me, it's just a number, man. It's like I'm not even supposed to be even. This wasn't even like an epiphany. It was. I had no idea I'd actually get this far.
Right.
At all. None.
That's awesome.
You were put on this earth to do this.
Yeah, I'm just a truly blessed man right now. So
very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Okay, well, and then we got to go in the other direction. That was all happy and wonderful moment. But now, what was your least favorite meat?
I'm gonna have to go with the Arnold.
Oh.
There was a lot of excitement going into that one, like a ton, and then that damn virus.
Yep.
Oh, that I was wondering what year. Okay, so 2020.
And what made it lost its luster was there was a thing back and forth that it was the qualifier was supposed to be up in New York. And then everything got closed. So the qualifier got canceled. And then they didn't know if the Arnold was going to happen. Right. So everything was in limbo. And nobody knew anything.
Yep.
Right. Sounds about.
So then there was a stint of time that it was supposed to be down in Texas.
I heard that.
Right outside of Dallas, I think. So I had everything planned for New York, and then when that got, we got everything canceled in time. We got like full refund, so we didn't lose our money.
That's good. Nice.
Thank God.
Right.
And then we started working out all the finalizations of like trip planning for the Texas to go down there and qualify. And then I find out that one got canceled.
Oh, geez.
And that if you had an invite to begin with, then you were automatically in. So all the invites that were out, you were in, regardless. So The qualifier for that meet was actually my 766 at the Omaha meet, that if I didn't get anything over a 660, which was the qualifying weight, I wasn't going to do the Arnold.
Oh.
So I got the 766, so I technically qualified.
Right.
So I called up, I think it was Keith Odell who took over the running of that one. And he did an absolute fantastic job under the circumstance.
Right.
But I did the 766, so I took the invite. And that was the same meet that I lost, that I failed on an 805.
Oh, okay.
Or no, sorry. I failed on an 810 attempt. And then I never said I would miss on an 810.
Oh, okay.
So to end the Arnold with an 810 was awesome. But I also switched to a new shirt that I never used because I had no idea. And I tried 850. We unracked it, and it just felt terrible. So we racked it, and I just called it. And then Rich Putnam comes out, smokes the 850, and then to pour some salt on the wound, we had a little extra time, so they threw 900 pounds on the bar, and he smoked that too.
Oh, no.
So I still took second. So even though it was a fun, and we had to start benching at 6 in the morning.
What?
Yes.
Too early.
It was either midnight or 6 in the morning.
Oh, ouch.
So we had to be there warming up at 5 in the morning.
Ouch.
I never even heard of that.
I've never heard of this type of warm-up situation before.
And it was daylight savings time.
Oh.
So we actually lost an hour.
Oh.
It was terrible.
Dude, this sucks all the way around.
But hey, I still walked out of there with an 810, took second place overall. I can't complain.
Right.
Yeah, say second place at a big show like that. Can't complain too bad.
Wow.
No, I can't.
If that's your worst, least, is that your least favorite powerlifting meet? You're doing all right.
Every right to be his worst. Yeah.
And I've dropped 1,000 on me a couple times. So for that to be my worst,
Oh wow.
I'm good.
Wow. In a meet, you have dropped 1,000 on yourself multiple times?
Twice.
Wow.
But both were to here though, and the spotting crew was completely spot on.
Oh,
so
good,
like
okay.
it was just touch and it was out. So I never
Didn't get hurt.
no bruising, no internal damage, nothing.
Good. That's
So and that's another reason why I go to Big Iron, because I know I'm going to reach 1,000 pounds there consistently. So to have my team there, it's I can't thank them enough. They stopped their in between their squat sets to come over and give me my 3-man handoff, and then they have like the 2 other guys that come in just to make sure they can get a quick whoop, in case that shit fails. But
that's nice.
So far I think my setup's pretty solid, and holding and moving 1,100 pounds plus is
nice.
Getting pretty all right. I just got to keep getting stronger, keep getting them triceps stronger, and just try to get to that 1,100 pounds, I guess.
Right. Nice.
But since I got 1,000, it's no pressure. So it's fun from here on out.
So Brian, did you do the 1,000 in a 3-ply 4L?
No. I would confidently say I can.
Okay. I know he makes a 4-ply. I had no luck in the 4-ply.
I do use the 4-ply. It's
Is that the one where you can remove a layer inside of it yourself? If you
no, mine is complete. Both my 4s are completely put together. I have an all black one that's stronger than snot.
Okay.
And then I have the red and black one, which it moves beautifully. And for my shoulder, it gives me that little extra support. Okay. So for me, it's a huge support issue, because that's my main focus every time I lay down. Is I have to be able to, keep everything going in the same direction.
Right.
So it's not like I didn't have the strength in the 3-ply. I was getting 930 to 950 in a 3-ply easy. Okay. It was just I wasn't getting the support in that area that I need the support in.
When you first got,
which is what I don't train a lot of raw. I do all my warm-ups raw, all my accessories raw. But if I know I'm going heavy, I get out of raw as quick as possible. I get in my one ply and I bust up to 660 to 670. And then I hop in my two ply at 725 to 750, and I work all the way up to 840.
When you first got your 4-ply, did you put it on and find that you had to send it back and make it bigger somewhat because it's more material and it would be harder to touch?
The black one that I got first, since I was a little chunkier,
Right.
it was taking a little more to get it to go down.
Okay.
But it was consistently getting down there around the 1,010
Oh,
10
nice,
point.
nice.
So at that point, I knew it was just like you have to build your arms.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get to that weight frequently, you know, for one, to strengthen the bone density in
That's
your
right.
arms,
Totally.
to be able to hold that weight more and more and more frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that I basically had to find a way, since I couldn't travel, you know, back and forth like more frequently.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I had to find a way here that I can kind of imitate that volume,
Okay.
but by myself, because I work second shift.
Yeah.
So, and it's not easy to find people here.
Right.
So it was just slowly progressed, you know, starting at what I knew I could control. So it wasn't I was just putting weight on the bar and, you know, praying to God that I can control
Right.
it. I was building my control to the numbers that I wanted to hit.
Okay.
So while I had people helping me, I was trying to build to this number. And then when I'd get to that number, I was able to self hand off in this area.
Okay.
So then everything just started just the ladder process.
Understandable.
Go on the way.
And then it was just like, you know, oh crap, I did 800 pounds and it was nothing. So then the next session that I would do it, I take that 800 pounds for a double or a triple to a one board.
Okay.
But now I was able to do 810 to 815 full range. Well, so now I'm just going to go to 820 and do 830 for a double or a triple to a one board.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just whatever or wherever I got to the point to where it was just like, okay, the self handoff's getting a little heavy.
Right.
Right.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there. So I never try to take myself to the point to where it's just like, man, I really struggled with that one, but I'm going to try to squeak out another one.
Right.
No, I just cut it.
Right.
Right. Okay.
If I take it out and it feels awkward, I'm gonna rack it back and I'm gonna call it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not gonna put myself in a position. I know it looks insane, but that's what you got to do. Man, you got to leave ordinary behind if you want to be extraordinary.
Right.
Like if you want to bench big numbers, you got to train up here too.
That's true.
Right.
That's absolutely true, Brian.
You can't train down here and hope to God for
No.
this.
Right.
Like if you want this, like I wanted 10-15. I went to Lake Erie. I bombed out on that meet, but God, you know, by God, I was confident in that number. Excuses. The day before, dude, I was having a ball helping all the full power lifters, loading weights. You know, loading weights for their squats, running the monolift.
Right.
You know, I was having fun over there. And then when the women were benching the next day, you know, I was having a blast coaching one of the ladies. And she ended up smoking a 315 for her first equipped meet.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like you might have failed that day, but you had some input on helping somebody be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not many people are like that, Brian. Most people, you know, I don't mention
So-
any names. When it happens to other people, they leave the stadium. So
No, if you don't mind, I coach some people. Matt Hodges, Tom Gosnell, Brittany, Autumn, Leroy out in Australia.
oh wow.
So it's like I got these people, you know, and it's the same program that I use. It's just if you're willing to put in the work, it works.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, and when they're asking me, you know, can you write my program out? I'm not going to write you a program. I'm going to write you a template It may have some numbers on it. It may have some sets, and it may have some reps on there. I don't care what numbers you're lifting. All I care about is the sets and the reps. So whatever I set you with the sets and the reps, you put in your numbers where you're comfortably getting those numbers.
Right.
Okay.
And now when those numbers become super easy, now we can overload.
Okay.
You know, if you got an opener in mind, you got a meet coming up, you want to hit 700 pounds, but and you got 7 weeks, and say you're putting up a 675. Okay, touch that 675 and touch it for those 8 weeks. Because what's going to happen is you're going to touch that number, and you may be able to touch the next number. So you're getting 660, now you're hitting 680. So now you're in this region right here.
Okay.
So now after that region, if you want to build past that, now you can go 20 pounds heavier to a one board. So you have your opener, you have your possible second, and now you're reaching for your third.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so it's it's the simplest form that I could possibly, and that's the way I had to do it. I had to break it down, and I had to make it as simple as possible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about triples, doubles, more sets. That way you're getting the amount of reps that you would need to break that CNS down, but you're not wasting energy over here in the warm-ups.
Right.
Right.
You're using that energy up here in the heavyweight.
That makes sense, Brian. Wow, that's eye-opening there. I've never heard it explained like that before.
The faster you can get out of this area here, and you can get to here, the more reps, the more sets of heavier weight you're going to be able to tolerate, the more times you do it. And the more consistent you make your reps, those sets are going to get easier and easier, and your numbers are just going to go up.
I got one question on that note there. When you were warming up for your 1015, what were your warm-ups? Like 135 raw, 225 raw?
I always start with the bar.
Okay.
2 sets of 10 with just the bar.
Okay.
And it's doing close grip, which is pinkies on the ring, and then normal comp grip. So you're doing 10 and 10.
Okay.
So you're warming up the interior, you're warming up the exterior.
Okay.
Now you're letting your back, get a little tighter with the closer.
Gotcha.
Get real tight with the comp grip.
Okay.
So now you're starting that setup process, that setup practice. So now you go to the one plate.
Okay.
And then I'll normally do 8 to 10.
Okay.
And then I throw on 2 plates. Okay. And then I do 8.
Okay.
And then I throw on 3 plates.
Okay.
And I do 2 sets of 3.
Okay. That's kind of what I do.
And then I go straight to 1 ply at 450.
Oh, okay.
I'll do 5. And then I go to 550 and I do 3.
Okay.
Then I'll go to 600. I'll do a single.
In the single
And then
ply.
I put on my ply. I go to 715. And then I put on my shirt.
Okay.
Okay.
At my shirt, I'm at 850, and I go for a triple. But I do what I call the ghost board.
Just bring it down, and then where it stops, push it up.
Yep, where the shirt gets tight, press. Okay. Come back down, gets tight, press. Come back down, take a little extra time, and try to get as close as you can, and then press.
Okay.
And then I went to 975.
Okay.
And I went down to half an inch and to a clean press.
After you did that 975, did you stand up and say, yes, today's the day? Based off of that, your handoff partner, you know what I'm saying?
I stood up. I looked at Jimmy. I said, I'm ready.
Okay.
I walked. I took about a 10-foot walk, and I literally stopped. And I watched. I just stared at that bench from right then. From that point.
Okay. Okay. Eyes on the prize.
I was ready to rock and roll.
Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt, man. I just thought I like to ask questions. Sorry, Ashley. Continue.
That was good.
You're allowed to jump in.
Okay.
We don't mind. We'll allow it, won't we, Brian?
Yeah.
Let's see here. What injuries, if any, have you had to deal with throughout your career, and how did you recover?
The only major injury was a hockey injury. It was right after high school. I was in a game up in Omaha. It was summer league.
Okay.
So it was a lot. It was a lot of the college kids were in town. The junior A hockey teams were on break. So a lot of these kids and young men, they were playing in this league. So it was a very fast paced league.
Okay.
So I ended up going headfirst in the boards.
Oh.
Tearing 2.5 of the ligaments that hold the clavicle down.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
And basically right after the game, my dad took me to the hospital. They took an X-ray of it. It was classified as a class 3 separation.
Ooh.
Just because it was only class 3 separations because that last ligament was still hanging on.
Yeah.
So, to my knowledge, what they did was they went in, they reset the collarbone, and they wrapped it with a wire, and they sunk it down with an anchor bolt.
Oh wow.
And then it was just a lot of physical therapy. And then once I got the full release, just a golfing trip, just broke the bolt. Everything started to come apart.
Shit.
There was a lot of bone.
Oh man.
Just lack of movement. It was just a real pain in the neck. So they went back in, tried to wrap it with the wire again. That was unsuccessful. So we went in for a third surgery. They cut 2 inches off the clavicle.
Oh.
And so it's all the way back here instead of where it needs to be
Right.
here.
Oh, wow.
So there's nothing that sits anywhere near my rotator.
Wow.
Like all of this is still connected down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything up here. It's just muscle tissue.
Wow.
So the fact that it hasn't fallen apart yet,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
like just like medically, it shouldn't be possible.
Right.
Like I know people are like, oh yeah, but I've had this and I've had this. Like it wasn't repaired; it was removed. And then after it was removed, it was just like, here's a list of stuff that you're never going to be able to do again. Deal with it.
Oh.
And then if it happens again, then maybe we can go into your leg and take a ligament from down there and put everything, put that over
Right.
it. So, and it was just
Nightmare.
I'm thankful for being where I'm at,
Mhm.
under the circumstance,
Right.
but it is what it is. I would say other than just getting old, I would say that was the worst one. That's the one that sticks in my brain, and that's the one that just it leaves me with a bunch of questions of like, what if? Because hockey was my number one.
Right.
Really? Okay.
Always has been. Wasn't a football guy. Wasn't a basketball dude. It was hockey. So
You mentioned getting old. What is old, Brian? I'm old.
I'll be 40 in May.
I'm 47, son.
No, dude. See, what I figure is we're just getting wiser.
We're just getting wiser, and this is the prime era of our lifting careers in the 40s. The 40 is the new 30s.
The thing is, though, it's like, you're 47, I'm going to be 40, but yet we're still successfully holding this amount of
Yeah,
weight.
we are. That's true.
Like, granted, you've been doing it for a lot longer, and I'm just getting
Right.
there. But it's just like, with the injury, I know that it's not going to be a long-term type of thing. So
Right.
it's like, man, for me, and the goals that I set, man, I want my kids to look back at this and be like, man, my dad made a goal.
He did.
My dad had it. He went for it and he did it.
Right.
So I want them to learn from that. And I want them to take that and add that to their, to their everyday life and be like, if my dad can dream that big and be successful, then I need to dream that
That's
big.
true. That's a good morale there.
So they can have their own success
That's
in
right.
life. And
Right.
I like that. The way we worded that. Yeah.
if that happens between, my up and coming motivational speaking that I hope I get more of.
Oh yeah.
I get to go to Colorado in March to go speak to a high school baseball team.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm a high school baseball coach.
Oh, wow, Brian.
He asked me to come down to speak to his baseball team,
Nice.
so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, that's cool.
And then an old high school friend of mine, he's Class B, Norris High School. I went out there and I talked to them before their first meet. Seeing how I'm still talking to them.
Right.
The girls are number 1 in the state,
Oh, nice.
and the boys are number 2 or 3
Oh, wow.
Wow.
in the state. Man, they're going for
Killing
it.
it.
So
Killing it, yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
just I'm a little part of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I didn't know that you get to do those motivational speaking. That's really cool. That's really fun and feel good, rewarding.
Giving back.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of your best training lifts?
In
You
the
know,
gym.
boards, yeah, in the gym, like, boards. If you have sets of like
Well,
a lot, big weight with, for number of reps, or, just things you're most
we
proud of.
went out Saturday, and nobody was kind of with it because they all wanted to like exit to go watch college football. So we had a small debate about how much was on the bar. There wasn't an actual like knowledge of how much weight was on the bar.
Okay.
All I can say it was a little bit more than the world record.
Whoa.
It was
Are we talking
11:20.
Are we talking the world record, like 11:20? Jimmy Kolb?
Yeah, it was 11. It was either 11:25 to 11:40.
Fuck.
We don't like nobody had a. Like all I remember is just laying down, taking it to the two board and pressing it.
Nice.
Wow.
Just went nuts and just sat up, and everybody's like, we just started taking the weight off. So
Holy shit,
like,
Brian.
I just knew it was more than a certain amount, so I didn't.
Oh, wow.
So it's and the fact that I held it was that's all I needed.
Yeah. There you
Damn.
go.
So when was that, Brian?
That's cool.
A month or two?
That was Saturday,
Holy shit. Cool.
and it didn't happen because I didn't get a video.
Right.
Darn it.
Yeah.
I was letting my son watch his little science learning stuff
all right.
on YouTube on my phone. So,
Hey, it happened.
Pretty
That's all I care about.
yeah.
You did it.
Believe you.
Right on, dude.
other than that, just the 840 self handoff and all the 800 self handoffs that I do. I'm pretty happy with those.
Yeah.
That's how I found you, Brian. I scramble through Facebook a lot trying to find lifters and who's doing what. And I remember I always came across your video page. You were always handing out weight to yourself. And the first time it was 600. I'm like, this guy's handing out 600 to himself? The most I've ever done was 500. And then I saw you one time 7. Then I saw you one time 800, and it was a challenge or something. And you took out 800, and I'm like, this guy's unreal. It's a self handoff that shit, man. It makes me want to try it. I mean, I've never done it, but I'm sure there's a technique involved. But
Now I do want to try 900.
oh fuck yeah!
But it'll be me lifting it. But I will have the side spotters in place.
Just in case. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be good. Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not going to do something stupid, but I do have another meet coming up, October 23rd.
Oh, right around the corner, Brian.
It's in Columbia, Missouri.
Okay.
Okay.
And basically, my goal for this one is I want to do 1,000 pounds twice in a meet.
Okay.
So we're going to open up with 10:05, which I'm pretty comfortable that I can pretty much get every time. So I'm gonna open up with 10:05, and then I want to try for either depending on how the first one goes. If it's successful and it just goes the way I think it should, I want to go for 10:31.
Boom, yeah.
And then if it goes kind of slow, then I got about a 10:20 to 10, maybe 10:25.
Okay.
So I want to leave it a little bit, that little PR at this
absolutely.
point. I'm going to take this little
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be rooting for you,
Once you
man.
get up to that weight, hell yeah, I get it.
And then, like I said, on your you got to have your perfect day situation.
Oh yeah.
And then if I'm successful on both of those two, then I'm just going to go ahead and try 11. I'm just going to go ahead and try 11:21.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, I get it down. If I can get it down to a press command, that's a win.
That is a freaking win in itself. Yes, sir. Holy shit. October what?
October 23rd.
23rd. I'm going to write that down real quick.
And like I said, man, that's like that perfect day scenario. Like my perfect day scenario is the 10:05, 10:31, and then boom, just go ahead and try it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Because then if I don't get it, I can just be like, hey, I tried.
Yeah.
And then if nothing hurts or nothing gets injured and I'm able to get back in the gym and train some more, That's the second win.
That's a second. Absolutely.
Totally.
So and like I said, man, I've held it in my hands. I kind of know that the shock factor
Yes.
that it allows. So I'll give it a
All right.
shot.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, Brian.
Why
Absolutely.
not?
Yeah.
Sounds
Give it a shot.
sounds
Give it a
good,
whirl.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Go
Why
big.
not? You know,
Yeah.
we only live once.
That's right.
Give the audience a show.
And I gotta prove that my method works.
That's right.
You know?
That's
So,
right.
That'd be one way to definitely do it.
you know, success or fail, it's it's all just for the passion of
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Totally.
Other than my wife and my kids, it gives me a my wife and my kids, they come first, obviously.
Right.
You know, they're my biggest support.
Right.
My in-laws, my dad's been to every meet that I've tried
Nice.
over 1,000 pounds.
Nice.
And he lives down in frickin' Florida.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
So the only one that he didn't make was the Erie one.
Okay.
But he still planned on it. He still planned on it. He just couldn't make it work.
Gotcha.
So he
Tried.
so far the three meets that I've tried, you know, he's been with me. So
What part of Florida does he live in?
It's cool.
he lives right outside of Tampa.
Tampa. I used to live in Fort Myers back in the day, so I'm familiar with Florida a little bit.
Yeah, he's the rink manager for I want to say it used to be like the Team USA training complex.
Oh no shit!
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Training facility. All I know is it's a 4 iceplex
Holy crap!
place, and he runs the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh,
so
good for
Oh,
him.
wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, Ashley, what do you got?
Let me find my spot. What does a week of training look like for you?
well, we're gonna start if the way I set mine up is if Saturday's bench, if everything goes great and everything moves good,
Mhm.
and Sunday, like I don't feel like a complete wreck
Right.
because you get that weight in your hand, you just kind of feel like just real sluggish, kind of letting your body just kind of. So ice baths.
Oh,
Ice baths are a must.
literally fill your
Really?
tub up with ice, right?
I have a horse trough in my backyard.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
But no. So if everything goes perfect, or crappy, I that's how I set up my Monday.
Okay.
So if everything goes really really good on the Saturday in my shirt, then Monday is my repair day. So within my repair day, I still get in my 1-ply and I still work up to my 660.
Okay.
And then I might go like a 6 to maybe a 680 to a 730.
Okay.
Still in my 1-ply, but I'll use the one to the 2 board, and I'll do overloads with my 1-ply.
Okay.
So I'm still getting to that point to where my CNS is getting, it's dancing. So then after that, then I do I made the PVC bars, and I do what we call the Grandic press.
Okay.
So it's basically 8, 8, and 8.
And what's a Grandic press?
It's kind of like the JM press, but it's close,
Okay.
close grip, and it's just different variations.
Okay.
With a PVC bar, so it kind of acts like the earthquake bar.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then I just do like a lot of tempo bench with the PVC bar, whether I put weight on it, and I put weight on the bar.
Okay.
So it's like doing one of these numbers.
Yeah. Bending. Yeah.
Like a Duffalo bar.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you get to take that, but the key is it's not the amount of weight that you're moving. It's about the amount of weight that you can stabilize through the entire movement.
Okay.
So the goal is this PVC bar wants to do a lot of this.
Whipping. Yeah.
I've had.
So your goal is to move the bar down and press up and have no whip.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So I do stuff like that removes speed bench.
Okay. Understandable.
So it's tempo bench, but it's all about removing the whippiness.
Okay.
And then another one is it's the PVC bar, where I'll put as much band tension as I can, pulling the bar away from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so it wants to pull it down towards your waist.
Okay.
So when you come down,
You get.
you have to work every small muscle to stabilize all that band tension.
Okay.
And it'll literally take. It wants to take you past
Yes.
your every time touch point.
Right.
So your job is to hold that band tension to get to your touch point every time.
Oh.
Jeez.
When you're doing that, you gotta make that little tuck, embrace all of that weight into what your shirt would want to do, and do this.
Whoa. And then you press it up, right?
So now you're practicing the anti-dump muscles.
Okay. Okay.
You're learning to stay tight. You're learning to drive your midsection up,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and then to get that press from A to B every time.
I like what I'm hearing, Brian, and I just incorporated a new exercise into my routine. I'm sorry. I'm going to steal that from you.
What I will do for you is I will make a video of it. I will send it to
Thank
you.
you. Oh, I
personally.
appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. So I can show my guys. So, yeah.
Because what it'll do is, a lot of people, when they get down, the band shirt, so some people, they can get by with keeping their elbows flared.
Right.
But the problem is you're allowing that shirt to flare this way.
Yes.
So now that shirt is coming up to here. So when you want to press, it's going to want to fly back.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So your goal is you want to keep it down here.
Right.
So as you get down, when that thing starts to tighten up a little bit, you want to tuck your elbows in, which will bring that forearm this way a little
Okay.
bit. So the weight stays straight down into your forearm and it doesn't get to the front.
Ah.
Okay.
You're going to have that feel where your arm is going to want to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And then all you got to do is, when you're going down, is just hold that wrist right there. So now that weight is staying right directly
in line with the
down
forearm.
the middle, touch, boom.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you for that information, Brian. And a video would be awesome if you had time.
That'd be cool.
yeah. But then other than that, it's just bench, that, and 3 tricep accessories.
Okay.
I don't use other weight. I use bands for everything.
Everything.
Oh, okay.
The only I'll use dumbbells for reverse flies, lateral flies, warm up rotations, and I'll use all the way from 2 to no heavier than 20 pounds.
Okay.
Even dumbbell rollovers, no heavier than 25 pounds.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
my philosophy is, the heavier you go, you've already put enough pressure and enough negative and positive energy on all of your joints, trying to keep everything perfect, that you've done the 99% of the body of work.
right.
Now you only need to do is focus on that 1%.
Gotcha.
Because now that you've broken down that CNS, everything is doing this. So your goal is to make that settle down first,
Mhm.
and then heal everything back together.
Makes sense.
So I go with bands, and you obviously, all you have to do is just back up to get a little bit more tension,
Mhm.
So I'll start to where the tension is very light, out all the way out here.
Okay.
And when I do my rows, I get all the tension I need when I can squeeze my back.
Okay.
So you're alleviating all of the negative pressure that's going into your shoulders, that's going into your elbows, that's going into your wrists.
Yes, sir.
And you're only applying it to the part of your back that you need to start repairing.
Okay.
Because now you're going to repair from the inside with that muscle motor out.
That makes sense, Brian.
We're not repairing from the outside in. We're repairing from the outside or the inside out.
Yeah. Huh.
And when you bench heavy and you're holding the weight that we are on a constant basis,
Yes, sir.
you need to strengthen everything from the inside out, which is going to make you more stable. It's going to create more control, which is going to equal to heavier weight.
Okay.
And then the more times you get to that point,
Mhm.
now it's up to you to stay there.
Okay.
Because once you're there, when you hit that area every single time, this area is going to become real freaking easy.
Yeah.
That's true.
And now you can move on. So now you're halfway into this area that you perfected. Now you can perfect this much of it and then move on.
Okay.
So you could be doing triples here, doubles, singles, board work. So you're constantly working. And then once you get to the board work and say, hey, that one was really heavy and it didn't feel right, that's where you stop benching.
Okay.
You've pushed yourself to your body's limit. Your body's saying you have no more.
That's right. Yeah.
So everything that you do after that bench session, it's all about the repair. It's not about any more breakdown.
Right.
It's not about
That makes
going
sense, Brian. It totally makes sense.
It's all about doing everything within that 99% with that 1% that you're going to spend the most focus on is that 1%.
Okay.
And when you find your 1%, there's no limit. Because if you're willing to go there every time, the chance of your success is going to be so far greater than not going to that 1%.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So when people are looking at a whole body of work, all they see is this. They don't care about that.
That's true. That's true.
So you gotta fill this empty void, and that's with the setup. That's with more sets and more reps of weight that you can handle.
Okay.
And then once you get done with those reps and those sets, now you start to build to where you want to be.
Okay.
You have where you need to be. This is where I want to be. Perfect all of this, and you will get.
And that's just Monday, right?
This, and you will get here.
And this all occurs on Monday.
Yep, that all occurs on Monday.
What happens Tuesday?
Tuesday's back day, where it's anything back.
Okay.
Rows, deadlifts, pin pulls, banded lat pull downs.
All back.
Yeah, all back. Wednesday is another bench day.
Oh.
However Monday went, Wednesday I always jump in my 2-ply.
2-ply, okay.
And that's when I work to the 800s.
Okay.
Or I take the really heavy volume, and I think I posted the other day it was like 40 something thousand pounds. That was just my volume day.
Damn, son. So you're counting each rep and multiplying that.
So I started at 415 pounds 1-ply.
Okay.
I worked to a 685.
2-ply.
For three. And then I jump into the 2-ply. I start at 705 for a triple.
Full range.
And then I worked all the way to an 805 for 3.
Full range.
Yeah.
God damn, son. Okay, Thursday.
And
Friday.
Thursday is another back day.
Okay.
But depending, if I went heavy on Tuesday, I go light on Thursday. If I went heavy on Tuesday, I go light on Thursday.
And I'm assuming Saturday's max effort bench day.
Yep, and then Friday is free day.
Free day.
So Friday, I'll usually hit a little bit of triceps, but it's just like banded burnouts, where I'll do like three sets of 100 reps total.
All right.
I kind of stole that one from Jimmy Call, but it seems to work really nice.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Saturday is if I'm here, then it's just I work the 2-ply and I'll work like the tempo bench, holding my breath. I'll change it up. I never have like a set workout plan unless it's on volume day. And then if I go to big iron, then it's get as heavy as possible.
Awesome. How far is big iron from your place in miles?
If I leave my house at 7 in the morning, I get there by 8:30.
Oh, it's not too,
it takes about
that's not too far away. That's cool.
I stop for breakfast.
Nice.
So it's not bad. And when I reached out to Donnie Thompson, he was like the one guy that I was talking to because I bought the fat pad and I just wanted to thank him for making it. You know, because obviously it helps
absolutely
a lot. But no, I reached out and I asked him if there was anybody that he knew within 3 hours of me. I didn't care which direction. That that if he knew that had like a powerlifting that did coaching, stuff like that, that I could go and get in my shirt, just go heavy.
Right.
And he gave me Jimmy's number. I texted Jimmy. Jimmy's like, yeah, just meet me here for breakfast. And he's like, we'll head to the gym and we'll get you we'll get you on the bench and you show me what you got.
Nice.
So it kind of felt like a tryout. But at the end of the day, they all welcomed me with big hearts,
good people,
open arms. They're all really sweet, really awesome, and it's a beautiful camaraderie.
That's nice. That's good to have.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, so it's and I don't feel uncomfortable ever.
Good.
So,
good. All right, Ashley, what do you got?
Awesome. Okay. Do you have a coach that programs your training? I guess we kind of already covered that, but do you have a coach that programs your training, or do you write your own program? Sounds like you basically do.
Early on when I first started, I was still kind of playing with the notion that like I know I was never going to do gear. Gear is for the insane, the crazy people. That was my complete mental train of thought, was like people who are in bench shirts are absolutely just
Yep.
And, like, you finally get to that point, it's just like, well, yeah, you got to be freaking nuts to be putting that weight over your face.
Yeah.
like you got to be mentally unstable at some point to where you're willing to do that for fun. But no, early on, I reached out to a coach. It was bigbenches.com. The young man's name is Nick Benrakis.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I did a little bit of background check on him. He worked with a lot of really big name guys, whether it be coaching, diet, nutrition, stuff like that. So I worked with him for a couple months. I honestly owe my setup foundation, like on how I needed to kind of open my hips a little bit, lock in my setup through my feet. Right. And that, that stuff I still need to work on. So it's like, we may be good, but we're not perfect. I'm always learning. Mm-hmm. I'm always teaching. I love the coaching aspect. I love giving back.
Same here.
And as far as, yeah, man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's about all I can really say.
Okay. Yeah.
Next question.
Okay. Next question. Kind of a random question here, but Ryan always likes to throw it in. What type of music do you listen to when you train?
This is gonna shock you. I actually listen to worship music.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Like church going or?
Yeah.
Is it?
I was recently baptized a couple years back. I just little background.
Okay.
Coming out of high school, life was rough. My parents loved me. Don't.
Right.
But no, it was all me. Like the whole ADHD, anxiety. Like nobody wanted to believe that stuff like existed.
Right.
Like it wasn't something that you wanted to talk to anybody about. Like you didn't want to feel like you were the freak,
right?
Yeah, and like I'm totally cool with it now. Like I definitely found a way that I can cope with it. But I would say I had a really bad drug problem.
Okay.
For a bunch of years, and I can proudly say that when I met the love of my life, who is my wife now. Right. Of going on 14 years.
Good for you, man.
Nice. Congrats.
I worked in a kitchen, and I was a drug addict. And she worked in the same restaurant as a waitress. Yep. And I made a few inquiries to a fellow cook of mine that I would like to talk with this chick, because she was just somebody that I wanted to talk to. Mm-hmm. So. I had my kick where I'd get off work and I'd go sit at my table. You could still smoke in bars.
Okay.
So I had my table. I was sitting there smoking, and she actually approached me.
Whoa.
She asked me if I was antisocial.
Yeah.
And The rest is history on that one. We're, you know,
Yeah,
we're still together.
that's awesome,
But
man.
yeah.
That's cool. Very nice.
So
Kick the drug habit too, right?
yep.
Good for you.
Still sober.
Good for you, man. That's
Very
hard. That's a
cool,
hard thing to do
yeah.
in life. When you find a passion like lifting, you know, for me, you know, I hung around guys that were getting into meth in the 90s, you know, and they were like, hey, man, let's try some of this. You can do a full-blown workout, 9 hours straight. Okay, I'll try it once. And we did. We worked out every body part for 9 hours. And I'm like, well, we got to fuel our body now. Went over to the store. We got a grandma's cookie. I took one bite of it and spit it out. Like, I asked my buddy, Troy, how are we going to get big if we can't eat? You know, and it's he kind of parted ways with me. And I mean, I'm looking for things that are going to make me bigger and stronger. And everything out there, you know, alcohol dehydrates, depletes, destroys. Cocaine just eats muscle right off your bone. Meth just makes you look like I've seen what that does to people, and it doesn't make them strong. You know, so that wasn't my gig. I like to drink alcohol a little bit. You know, that was my thing for a while, but I found in the long run that hindered my ability to excel my bench press. So when I quit drinking, my bench press went from 514 in 2 months to 556. So I never looked back on that either. So yeah, little things we learned along the way, man.
That is true.
All right, Ashley, what do you got?
That's true.
I'm sorry to get on my spiel. He made me think when he was talking.
Careful. Let's see. What is the best advice lifting wise that anyone has ever gave you, and who was that person?
Man, I'm honestly, I haven't been with him long, but I gotta give it to Jimmy.
Yep.
His coach, the late Rick Hussey.
Yep.
He always had a saying, "Practice how you play."
Okay.
So Jimmy told me that one time, and it just kind of stuck. So every time I train, whether it be, you know, in the bands, in the shirt, raw, I try to keep the exact same movement from my raw to when I start getting into my stuff. So nothing ever changes. So I would say the practice how you play.
That's a good one.
I think that's the one I'm gonna have to go with.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's really good.
But no, I'm not taking away from anybody else.
Oh yeah.
That had their key in making me who I am. I have a lot of thank yous.
Oh right.
And it would take me a really long time to thank everybody. So thank you, everybody.
And you're so young.
Yeah, no, we just mean like, you know, just one piece of
You're still
advice.
young in your
I'm
career,
sure you've had
Brian.
a
I
lot
mean,
of-
you're going to get some elite athletes giving you some great advice along the way when you go to these meets, and you know, find other guys that are very helpful that will offer you advice, and you know, we all try to give back and help each other. Not everybody's friendly like that.
If I might add,
Yeah. Psh,
we had a meet in May. Dave Hoff actually came down.
Oh yes.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, that guy, he is 100% class act.
Very true. Very
I
true.
love him.
Like, yeah, Jimmy unfortunately had his little his heart deal. He was having open heart surgery. He was really bad at the time. But Mary, his wife, she stepped in and she put on a hell of a meet. And Dave Hoff, he was supposed to lift in it, but he didn't feel it was right. So he bowed out of it. But we're talking when people were warming up on the squats, this man would come up, you know, just behind everybody and, you know, give pointers to this guy, pointers to that guy. You know, and then he was there, you know, on the bench press saying, you know, you're not doing this, you're not doing that.
That's good.
And if this was to like the one or two people, like he was going around, he was just doing everything.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So I got, like, I'm in the metal militia, and I have a lot of friends. Bob Merck, me and him had conversation. Right. We're actually in a competition right now to see the first person that gets the 1,100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And then the winner, and it can be a gym lift. It doesn't have to be on the platform. Okay. It was just, you know, a little friendly wager that if he wins, then I'll have to buy a shirt, and he's going to autograph it,
Yeah.
but it's going to say I lost to Bob Merck.
What?
And then if I win, it goes the other direction. He has to wear a shirt that says I lost to me.
Didn't
Nice.
Bob Merck also become another 1,000-pound bencher at that last
Yes,
that
yeah.
3-lift meet?
And the second man to do it in a full power meet.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, nice.
The only other man to do it was Dave Hoff.
Yeah, very
Yeah, I
cool.
saw that on the live feed when they had that show that all the big benchers were at or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
good for him,
That's
dude.
so cool.
But I'm not taking nothing away from Jimmy Kolb's 1120.
Oh.
That was impressive.
Yeah, in a regular
I know,
double
that's
or triple ply Titan shirt, not even a band shirt
No.
yet.
That's so wild.
That was a single ply.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was a single ply?
I thought
His 1120 was in a
I
single
thought it
ply.
was.
I
Okay.
thought it was too.
That's all he's going to use for a while.
Can you believe that? A single ply shirt. That is crazy.
That's insane.
People ask me recently, who makes the best single ply shirt? Well, 15 years ago, I would have said, Inzer, but as time went on, I think Titan's got the reins now, and I can't steer anybody clear of Titan, especially with what Kolb's doing. All right, Ashley, what do you got?
Sorry. What powerlifting gear do you use? I know that you've already talked about that, but
Well, I love my Reebok shoes.
Okay.
They're the nice flat soled
Yes.
ones.
okay.
The F8 Kruger.
Yep.
I want to say it was the F8 Nightmare with the different chest plate. I don't even know if they even worried about that. But I use the Fate Customs band shirt, and then I use a 3-ply Overkill that I love a lot too.
Okay.
Wrist straps. I love my Fate Customs, the red and black ones. I like the all black ones, but I prefer the red and black ones.
Match the shirt.
Rudy and Overkill, they make a great wrist strap as well.
Yep.
But I just say when it comes to gear, man, it's kind of trial and error, man. You use what you like, use what you feel is comfortable, and
Use what works for you. Yeah.
yeah. So you could be a Titan guy, but you get more out of an Inzer. You gonna switch? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're an Inzer guy, but you can get 100 more pounds out of an Overkill, you gonna
Yeah.
switch? Probably.
Yeah. I would.
And then when you get into a band shirt, it's no surprise. You're not hiding nothing. You're in an unlimited division.
Right.
In my opinion, if you're good in a 3-ply, use a 3-ply. If you're good in a 2-ply, use a 2-ply.
Right.
If you can make the 4-ply function, go with God. Make the 4-ply.
Yeah.
Make the 4-ply work for you.
I agree with you on that, Brian.
You're in an unlimited division. Man, let's all just have some fun. Let's lift some heavy ass weight. Let's encourage everybody.
Hell yeah. Put on a show.
Let's go out, have fun, move as much heavy ass weight as safe as possible.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on
Okay.
it. No ill will.
Sounds good. Okay, this is kind of a fun one. What is something about you that might surprise everybody?
I played tennis in high school.
Whoa.
Okay.
Were you good?
Yeah, actually, I wasn't the worst.
Okay.
Okay.
Pete Sampras there.
Me and my buddy, we were on the doubles team, and we were the number 2 doubles team on, and we made it to state. We didn't do all that well, but
I'm impressed. Shit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good one.
And I absolutely love the Nutcracker live.
Okay, that's another good one.
I was going to ask what your favorite movie was.
Well, no, it's just,
Favorite movie? My wife's gonna hate me for Big Trouble in Little China.
Really? That was just on the other
What
day
is
with
it?
Kurt Russell.
Yes,
which one?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, I don't
Now, why is that your
And then
favorite movie? I mean,
like Braveheart. So I'm Scottish, so Braveheart's
Braveheart.
kind of
Okay,
close.
okay. Yeah, I was going to,
The Mighty Ducks 1 and 2, 3 sucks.
with Emilio Estevez, yeah.
Yeah, I love sports movies, crime dramas,
Okay.
action adventure, horror movies.
What's your favorite horror movie?
I love movies. So.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Pretty sure.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with.
We got off topic here a little bit, but
Right.
No, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger, okay.
Right.
Yep. I love that genre and that style. So it's kind of like Freddy Krueger, the whole Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we love those.
Halloween.
When I saw Freddy Krueger in 1984, I definitely didn't want to go to bed. I tell you that. Yeah, I thought he was coming for me in my sleep.
It was always, you hear, why do they always run upstairs?
Yeah,
it's like, God, that person's stupid. Why you always run upstairs?
Yeah.
I know.
It didn't matter how fast you ran, the killer was right there.
Yeah.
Right, that too.
So it was always that thought process of, man, how are they doing that?
Yeah. All right, Ashley, what do you got? What do you got left?
Those are good ones.
Yeah, those three would probably be up there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, those are good ones. Classics. If you had the opportunity to go back and do things over, would you change anything? If so, what would it be?
At this point,
No, because you have to find out in life. You have to experience things, and that's what puts you on your path.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it sucks to say it, man. I wish there was things that could have been done a lot different. But I don't think I would be the man I am today without the experiences
right.
that I made for myself. Like, nobody told me to take drugs. Like, it wasn't peer pressure.
Right.
It was like, that looks like fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I made my own choice. I was young and stupid.
Yep.
That's what young and stupid people do. They make their choice, and it's just the fact. How are you going to live with it? How are you going to overcome it? How are you going to how are you going to start to do things different?
Mm-hmm.
So I would honestly say no. I'm pretty happy and content with how my life turned out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm proud of you, Brian.
Good. Outside of powerlifting, what are some of your hobbies and things that you enjoy doing?
Watching movies with the kids. Going to movies with, like, my daughter's a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh, nice.
So we go to the Spider-Man movies come out.
Nice.
Barbecuing. I love to grill. I love to smoke food.
You got a Traeger?
I don't. That's cheating.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is cheating.
I do the low and slow. 12 to 20 hours. Okay. Wood and all that stuff. And I don't got nothing big. I just use a little small makeshift smoker.
Nice.
We won a couple rib rallies out.
No shit.
Out this
on.
way.
Oh, nice.
So it's something that I love to do, but it's like, it just kind of got to the point to where, like, eating too much smoked food, like, it doesn't sit well, and it just tears my stomach up, and I feel terrible for days afterwards.
Yeah.
So I kind of slowed down on the smoking part, but like, when it comes to, like, grilling and just cooking every once in a while, it's kind of my thing. I love to do it for a living. It just doesn't pay the bills right now. So
I understand.
I get it. Okay. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's a good one.
I see you having the #1 bench press in the world. That's what I see you.
No, Cole's not slowing down anytime soon.
No, he's not.
Tony Carlino, he's still high potential.
Yep.
Will Barati, he's not going to sit quietly.
Nope.
I do believe in my heart Scott Mendelson will bounce back from whatever injury he had at Shauna's meet, and I really hope to see him hit a lift.
Hold on, Brian. I wasn't aware that that Scott Mendelson lifted at Shauna's meet. I thought he was just there.
No, he tried to open with a 1065.
Oh, he got hurt.
And well, they had a missed handoff, and it, like, kind of just faded straight back.
Oh shit!
And then they racked it. They let him go. They let him try again, and he started to go down and just. And he stated that he messed up his shoulder. Which
shit! I wasn't aware of that.
I pray that it's not serious.
Right.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Scott tomorrow, text message, and see how he's doing. I didn't know I thought he was just out there making an appearance. I didn't know he lifted and got hurt. No.
Yeah, because you don't talk bench press without Scott Mendelson's name.
Right.
You know, he's definitely one of the pioneers of the 1,000-pound bench
Fuck yeah,
press.
he is.
You know, it's I never thought in a million years that I could say this, but you know, it's you know, I'm here, I'm honored, you know, and I still look up to you guys that do it in the polys because like I said before, that's a whole different appreciation.
Yeah, it is.
So I love the unlimited division. It gives me the support I need to be able to lift.
Right.
Like, you know, if I had to do it raw, you know, it'd be like every other month I'd be dealing with a, you know, shoulder
That's
injury
right.
or
That's
you know,
exactly right.
something like that. But, you know, with the help of the bands, you know, that is my shoulder. You know, that's my shoulder substitution right there.
Okay, so
So
as far as 10 years, before we got off track there a little bit.
I'm hoping to have 1,100
There we
within
go.
the year.
There we go. Awesome, Brian.
And then I think I'm probably going to go to the overkill for a really long time.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I might not get to 1,000, but you know, Rudy Rosales, man, with overkill, you know, he stepped in. He said he saw, you know, some potential.
Right.
No, I at least owe the man to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it may not be 1,000 pounds, but I would really love to get to the 850s to the 9 with that
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah. Cool.
So, because just like the Fate, man, the Fate is fun. It's a totally different. It's a different excitement. You know, you're up in that, you know, that God weight, and then you get into that overkill, or you get into the Inzer, or you get into the Titan, and it's just different.
It is.
Yeah.
Wait, it's really different.
The movement's close to the same, but the mechanics, the focus, the technique, everything has to be sound.
True.
Because to get to that touch, you have to do different things to get that shirt to move the way you need it to get to that fucking touch. And you have zero room for any.
That was
mistake.
one thing I had a problem with the overkill shirt was touching. And I mean, half inch from touching every time, and I just couldn't get it down. I sent it to Rudy. He stretched it. He sent it back, and it made no difference whatsoever. So I had no luck with it. But, you know, that shirt works for a lot of people. A lot of people master it in a heartbeat. A lot of people, you know, have a hard time getting it to work. I hope you're able to get it to work.
The first time in it, it was different because I was so used to the banded sleeve.
Yep.
So the fact that it was like biting hard in places I've never felt, that part was awkward.
Right.
But then it was like the second session was a little better.
Oh, good.
The third session was a little better. Okay. Within the fifth session, I had 725 within, you know, a quarter of an inch to touch.
Oh, nice.
So then it was the sixth session was, you know, I got 750 to touch.
Oh, good.
To a clean press.
Nice.
So, and then I worked that 750 every time I got to that shirt.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you got one that worked for you, man. That's good.
Yeah, and then meet day came, and it was, you know, I feel really comfortable. I'm gonna go after 750. I get 3 tries.
Yeah.
So it was, if I get 750, I'm gonna try this. If I get this, I'm gonna try this. You know, and it just so happened that I missed the 760 on the first one. Okay. I hit it my second time.
Oh.
So I went up to 805. And same thing, just like the first meet, my first meet ever. I got about halfway up and it just stuck.
Okay.
I had nothing, and I sit up, and my other coach is normally my handoff guy. His name's Mike Taylor, absolute phenomenal guy. Right. He looks at me and he's like, "Great lift." He's like, "We need to work them triceps."
Yeah. Yes, we do.
So and I looked at him and I was just like, done. It's like, you know. So getting the overkill to touch, like, I'm definitely gonna have to like lose some weight before I get back into that.
Right.
Because that was made for like 300 to 308, and I'm sitting at like 322, 323. Right. Okay. So I just got to drop a little weight, and I think I shouldn't have any problem. Okay. But other than that, like right now, I'm just kind of playing with the one to the two board just to kind of get used to the sleeve biting and all that stuff. But I'm like 825 to 850s for for doubles, the 1 to 2 boards.
All right, right
now.
on, man.
So just trying to kind of work that shirt down to where anywhere from like maybe a 785 to maybe an 825 will go full range.
Yeah, that overkill bites you behind the arms. That's for sure.
It does. This one actually bites kind of more in the front.
Oh, the front. Interesting.
Yeah, kind of right up in here a little
Oh
bit,
shit. Okay.
and then right in here, right in this
I
little
felt
pocket.
that there too. Yeah, I felt it more in the arms. I didn't feel the chest. Huh.
The whole right side just I don't know, but it just feels perfect.
Right.
And then the left side, it might be the torn bicep. I don't
Okay.
know. But it just like once the weight's in my hands and I just start moving it, the shirt feels great.
Okay, good.
But up until that point, the left side just kind of feels off a little bit.
Right.
But again, that could just be that I'm just like basically carrying too much mass.
Right.
So I just drop down a little bit, and that shirt should fit absolutely perfect.
Okay.
But still working it, still breaking it in. But I can at least say I did look into open powerlifting, but the 760 bench would be 98, and then multiply.
Right.
Yeah.
So still top 100. I'm still proud of that.
Hell yeah.
Hell
sir.
yeah, man.
All right, Ashley, what do you got? You getting to the bottom of the list here?
Yep, just a couple more here. When you first started out, what lifters did you look up to?
Well, one that's sitting right in front of me.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that.
Other than that, it was just watching everybody on the social media, and it was just like, man, it's like, man, these guys are moving some really heavy weight. You know, I'm never going to be able to move that type of weight, but I was like, I'm at least going to like start and
Hell yeah,
try.
you are.
Right.
So like Nick Benarakis had my attention. You know, he's a smaller guy. He's pressing, you know, 7s and 8s. You know, you had tiny meager, you know, pressing, you know, 1,000 pounds in his speed reps.
Yep.
You know, then you got your crazy ass. You know, Mike Wolf, Bill Crawford. Basically just all those guys coming up. And like I said, like I never knew him by name. It was just, you know, you watch these videos. It's like, man, I saw this one dude with like 900 pounds in his hands. It was freaking crazy.
Yeah. Right.
And it's just like, well, I'm that guy holding 900 pounds in his hands. I'm freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of watching you guys do your thing and just having that mentality, like, man, these guys are nuts.
Yeah. And it's achievable, man. And now you're there.
I want 600 pounds. I got a bench daddy, single ply. I got the 600 pounds. It was just like, man, I'm hooked.
Fuck yeah.
No, I want 700 pounds. What do I got to do to hit 700 pounds? Then you hit 700 pounds. Now it's like, man, I want 800 pounds.
Yep. There you
Always
go.
want more, huh?
And then it's like, oh, man, you're strong as shit. You want to try this shirt? Oh, yeah, I'd love to try that shirt. Oh, it takes 1,000 pounds to touch that shirt.
Perfect.
Great. So now you get now it's like, man, screw 900. I want 1,000.
Yeah, how we do.
What is it
Yeah.
going to take? You know, what's it going to take to bench 1,000? So it's just volume, more
Volume's
volume.
the key,
back,
man.
triceps,
Yep.
bench. And it's just back, triceps, and bench. A little bit of squats, a little bit of deadlifts.
Yeah.
Lots of bench.
Lots of bench.
People ask, you know, how much do you bench? I bench a lot.
That's what I understand. That's what I found out.
But I lift how I feel. And if I'm not feeling it, I stay light. If I'm feeling it, man,
You spend it.
I go. But a lot of that has to do with the mental game. My bench is specifically engineered and built for me.
Right.
So every way I set up, everything is within a fraction of an inch. So if I have to bail it down this way, say I'm coming down, and nothing feels right, all I got to do is drop it towards my face. That bar will never come within that close to my
Those
nose.
safety catches there. That's good.
So my head is completely safe.
Good.
Safety arms come out far enough to where if it bails forward,
It's covered.
I got a whole foot. So it protects me all the way to here.
Oh, right on, Brian. That's good to have.
That's nice.
So any which direction that weight needs to feel, since my parameter is so large,
Right.
like on a crappy day, I know I can reach 800 pounds.
Right.
On a good day, I know I'm going to go beyond
That's
that.
right.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when that weight gets to 820, 830, there's that one time you don't calculate how much you sink into the pad.
Oh yeah.
And you can't re-rack it.
Mm.
So the only place you can go is an 812-pound JM press.
Oh shit.
It was all good.
Okay.
I had the lockout. I couldn't rack it. I literally just pressed it up against the deal, slid my body out, and let the weight fall.
Wow.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah. No harm, no foul, like that.
So it's not like I don't fail.
No, we all fail. Yeah.
But you're not going to learn if you don't.
That's right.
Right.
If you don't push yourself to the point to where you're not learning,
You're not going to
you're
succeed.
not going to learn.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's the point.
You need to push yourself to the point to where you're continually learning.
That's true,
So
Brian.
if you fail a rep, what'd you do different? It's a weight you've pressed before. It's a weight you've pressed, accumulous weeks. On that 1 week, why didn't you not hit that weight? What did you do different? Whether it be your setup, what in that lift did you do different that you failed this time? So if you're not continually learning, within those fails, the successes are not going to be there because you're going to be like, I can't try that weight no more because I didn't get it.
Right.
Oh, hell no.
That makes sense,
I'm
Brian.
gonna lay back down and I'm gonna get that shit. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna move to the next one. I'm not gonna let one fail dictate
No.
my workout.
Right.
Well, if that fail leads to my wrist is a little tight or something. Okay, now your body's telling you you're done.
Yeah.
So you pack it up, unload the bar, go do some of those, the healing accessories, hop in your ice bath, and you're done for the day.
Some people don't listen to their body though, and they push through it and they injure themselves even worse. I've seen it.
And
It sets them.
that's
It
why
sets their
they
career
don't
back.
have success.
That's right. And they don't.
That's why they're stuck where they're
That's
at.
right.
And I'm not.
That's right. Yep.
So, and I've been told that I would be laughed out of the sport, because I was going for 1,000 pounds, and I could proudly sit here and say, no, I'm not.
No.
Right.
No way, dude.
So,
All right, Ashley, what do you got?
Last question. Last one I got. What advice can you offer new lifters who are just starting out with powerlifting?
Or bench pressing.
Or bench pressing.
okay, my perfect advice would be take your time, learn proper form, perfect it.
Correct.
Take the time. Believe in yourself, but take the time to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Patience.
No.
Plan, attack, victory.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just invest in yourself.
Okay.
Invest the time to learn everything properly, even if you have to ask a ton of questions. Yeah. Get the right information. Find out how you can lift successfully within your setup. If you're a leg tucker, figure it out.
Right.
Figure out how to get the most out of your setup with your legs underneath you. I don't like it because you just can't find stability. And if you're not stable, you're not going to have control.
Right.
You may be able to overpower the weight, and you may be successful, and you may lock it out. But at the end of the day, that's too much negative energy just rocking the hips. So my advice would be take your time, invest in yourself, and do it correctly. Mm-hmm. It's not a race.
No,
you're not getting paid for
nope.
it. You're really not going against anybody but yourself.
Right.
I don't care. You're not going into a meet into a weight group and be like, I'm going to beat this guy.
Right.
Unless you are that competitor. If you're an all three lift and you're going to the WPO, yes, you are a competitor. You are there to win. At that point, it's a game. It's a smarts game. It's what numbers do I need to win this?
Right.
If you're bench only, train for the numbers that you want. If there's a number that you can go get, man, train for it. Invest in yourself. Take the time. Do it right. You know, and if you need to call somebody, call that person and be like, hey, what are you doing different that I can kind of put into my workout? But at the same time, you need to tell that person, what I do is not going to work for you.
Right.
What I do works for me. All I can do is I can give you the template to show you what you can do for yourself. And the program is something that you can build into. So I'm going to give you're going to tell me you're in a shirt, your max is 400 pounds. What's the lightest amount that you can touch in your shirt? Because that's the number that I'm gonna work you to.
Right.
Every single time. You need to hit that number every single time. And then we build to that 400. And then I push you a little bit past that 400, whether it be a 3-board or a static hold. I want you to hold an astronomical number in your hands. I want you to feel it. And once you start feeling that week after week after week after week, man, your bone density is getting stronger. Your CNS is getting stronger. Everything is getting stronger. And then at the end of the day, you finished my workout. It may took you 2 weeks to get the sets and the reps I gave to you. But you built. You took the time, you invested in yourself, and you built to that number. You earned that number.
Right.
I can write a number down on a piece of paper. I can't give you that number.
Right.
I can just tell you what you need to do to get to that number.
That's correct.
Now you got to do the work.
Right.
So
that's very well put, Brian.
I say it with as much love as possible, but at the end of the day, like, you got to invest in yourself and you got to do the work. You got to want it.
Yep.
Every single time you lay on that bench, you got to want it.
I agree with you on that.
Nope, nobody's going to give it to
Nope.
you. You got to go and you got to take it. So for all the people that I work with, I love you all. You all are great. And some of these people are making astronomical jumps, and their bench has gone.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna give 2 names. Leroy, he is going for the biggest bench of Australia's history.
Holy crap!
Oh wow.
He's doing that next Saturday.
Oh wow.
So I started working with this guy. He's strong. He's strong. He's strong as shit. You know, but he had a bench around, the 680 to 725 area, and it was a solid bench. But he wasn't having the stability. He wasn't having the control. So I got with him like this. We do it right over Messenger Live. I'll sit in on their session, and I'll literally give them constructive criticism right after they bench.
Right.
So they bench, they pick up the phone. I tell them what they did right. I tell them what they did wrong. I tell them what adjustments they need to make, and they make them in the next set.
Oh, nice.
And now he went from, opening with 675, like 650 to 675, to where he's going to possibly comfortably open with the Australian record, 804 or 810.
Damn, son.
Jesus.
And I gave him the template. I gave him the encouragement. He put in the work.
Right.
He fixed his setup. His setup was just rock solid, and he's a strong dude on top of that. So putting in the work, being strong, getting your setup right, success.
Wow.
Another one is a really good friend of mine, Matt Hodges. He came to me with a shoulder issue. He was having like bone spur problems.
Oh shit.
And he was getting to the point to where bench, like every session, he'd be in pain. It hurt. So he called me up one day and he's like, hey, can I take a few minutes of your time and talk to you? Yeah, anything. Let's set up a date. We'll have a little, one-on-one conversation. You tell me what you want, and we'll go from there. Right. And he had his best lift of 700 pounds. Then he had to go in for his little get his bone spur taken care of. So there was, I think it was a 5-month block to where he couldn't do nothing.
Right.
And the second that he got his release, we started.
Right.
It was light volume, build. I want this number. Let's build to it. I want this number. Let's build to it. And now he's getting to the point to where he's going to open up with 800 pounds.
Nice.
Jeez.
So I can give you the template. I can give you the encouragement. I can tell you what you need to do. But at the same time, you got to take what I give you, and you got to work it within your own system. Like what I give you, you have to make it yours. Because obviously, my numbers are not your numbers.
Right.
So your numbers are his numbers.
Right.
So all I do is I write a number down. I write numbers down on a piece of paper, and all I ask is you give me that 99%, and I will help you find that one.
That's cool, Brian.
So it's all about you give me the body of work. I'll help you fill that.
Right.
Nice.
So
I like it. Brian, that was interesting. I listened to
Very good
everything you
feedback.
said, man. It totally makes sense.
I don't take money. I do it because I love it. It gives me purpose.
Right. And it
'Cause
yields
like-
results, obviously, too. Shit.
Yeah. Like I said, man, God put us on this planet for something.
But it's true.
Like once you find what it is for yourself, and like it's like you and me, man. It's like, we're here. We're a testament to something greater.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good, like yourself and myself, giving back to the sport. Because when I was a teenager, no one was helping me. There was no internet. There was no workout programs, personal trainers.
Yep.
You couldn't call up anybody and get advice. I was reading muscle and fitness magazines and doing those workouts because that's all I didn't know how to train until I got Powerlifting USA one time, and then I started copying some bench press articles in there, but I didn't know what I was doing. So in this day and age with internet, social media, and guys like us that are giving back, I mean, it's really awesome to be 18 and trying to achieve a world record bench press now. There's so much help out there. It's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just something that kind of gives me it takes the passion a little deeper.
Does.
Yeah.
And anybody can claim to be a coach. It's all about it's about this, man. It's like it's seeing the person that you're helping, like continually having those conversations, once a month, twice a month, just to kind of, where are you at? How you feeling? Give me the feedback.
Right.
Are we on the right track? To hit what number you want to hit.
Right.
Just stuff like that, and it kind of goes into my compartmental area up here that I just kind of store it, and I don't know. I love it.
Well, Brian, we're going to move over to the chat box. Ashley's got some work to do over here.
Okay.
So read the names and read the question. I don't know. I see some new names.
Is
SCHU and last name Baca.
Chewbacca?
Chewbacca? All
Yeah,
right.
Chewbacca says, yeah,
we
Forbes.
got the same hairstyle, bro.
Yeah. I don't know who Chewbacca is, but Diane Winch.
I like him already.
Diane Winch says,
My son is my hero. Love, Mom. I take it that's your mom?
no?
Yep, love you,
Oh,
Mom.
love you, Mom.
Oh, very nice. Chewbacca again. Hi, Mom. It's Dale.
Dale.
Do you know what Dale?
Oh.
Does that make more sense now? That's Chewbacca is
Yeah,
Dale.
Dale.
Yeah, he's actually my technically my longest friend,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
oldest
well,
friend.
he's on here.
We've been friends since like first grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, he's on here. That's cool.
Chris Smith has an interesting question.
Has kind of random, but has anyone taken the COVID vaccine and noticed strength losses or any side effects?
I have not taken the vaccine myself.
I've taken the first round. It kicked my booty.
Okay.
But honestly, nothing.
Nothing?
No, I was sick for probably 2 days. Then after that, nothing.
Okay.
I didn't grow a third eye, or no more fingers,
Yeah,
no more
gotcha.
toes.
Right, nothing crazy.
I don't know. It gives me the peace of mind that if I do get it, I just hope it's not as bad as it
Yeah.
would be. That's my take on it. I don't.
Yeah,
If you don't want to get it, don't get it. If you want to get it, get it.
right.
It's no big deal. It's just like getting a flu shot,
Yeah.
or going to the candy store and getting $20 worth of candy and eating that, and
That's about right.
it's your own preference.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
The answer is no, unless like you're that small percentage that your body just rejects it, and
Yeah.
you might have some issues, but other than that, for me personally, no.
I see. My only thing was I got really sick and I lost quite a bit of weight. So because of that weight, I
Lost strength.
felt a little bit of weight loss,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
a strength loss.
That's gonna happen. That part's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but that would happen too if you just got sick.
Right.
True.
With any weight loss, you're gonna have that little bit of muscle decrease,
Oh, yeah.
but you can start eating a little bit more and get that muscle,
Right.
if not more.
Right.
On the back end, you'll probably actually become stronger for taking that forced break.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
When I hit going into the Lake Erie thing, I think I was 8 weeks out. I hit 10-15 for the first time, and we weren't even trying to touch. Like it was just let's see where we get with this, and it went full range. Guy gave me a press command. I pressed it, locked it out, we racked it, and then 2 weeks later I hit it again, and then I sprained my ankle really bad. I got the normal sprain, and then a high ankle sprain on top of that.
Oh.
So I was out of work and off my feet for 3 weeks. So leading into that Erie meet, I didn't train for 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
So we get, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks out. I went up to Council Bluffs. I went to Big Iron, and I did everything that I would do on meet day. So all my warm ups, every time I get in a shirt, everything is meet day training. So there's no like heavy day where it's going to be like different. Everything on max effort shirt day is just like a meet day. So all my warm ups will be the exact same leading up to the heavyweight. I don't change nothing. So once meet day comes, everything is locked and solid. So everything is prepped for, so there's no surprises. Right. So I didn't train for 3 weeks. I go up there. We work up to the 10-15. I take it, and I literally had no pressing power, none at all. Couldn't press the shit. I think I got like 1 inch, and it just stopped. So I have my command where if something doesn't feel right, I say no, and then everybody just takes it. But then there was something in my head. Jimmy was like, he's like, let's just call it. He's like, you can hit it. You've done it before. You've done it twice. He's like, let's just call it a day. And I was like, no. I was like, I want to try it one more time. Laid down, smoked it. No problem.
Weird.
So it was that moment that I was ready for 10-15.
Damn.
So when we went to Erie, we drove. What I didn't account for was the time in the car, the time in the full power meet that I spent in the back room, loading for everybody, unloading for everybody, spotting, just doing all that stuff. I'm not going to say it took a toll on me, and that's why I missed the lift. I missed the lift because it was just, just technicalities. Right. Mm-hmm. It was everything. It was probably one of the biggest meets that I've been to. It was real. It was a lot of excitement. It was the first time that I was officially going for the 10-15, but it was something that I was really comfortable trying. And it, the first one just totally sucked. The second one, I had that thing going, and it just couldn't get it to that point to where you can fight for that lockout. It stayed within that threshold, and I just couldn't get enough under it to press it. And then the third one, I was standing in line. I think I was 3 lifters out, and I'm sitting there like pulling on the front of my shirt, tucking that thing down within my belt. And I'm just pulling that thing down, talking. And I had that collar, like probably sitting right here, just
Wow.
right off the top of my chest.
Right.
So like right when I go to like put my wrist straps on, it hits me that my shirt's too tight.
Ooh.
We're talking, I jacked this thing enough. I probably could have done 1,100 that day.
Wow.
I'm not even lying, dude. I couldn't get 10, 15 to get within an inch. It wouldn't move.
Wow.
It just stuck. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This thing ain't going
Ain't going
anywhere.
nowhere.
But I held 15 for probably a good 5 seconds.
dude.
Wow. I'll take it out of you.
Try to get down. Nope, it ain't going. Nope. And they took it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Eli Thomas has a question.
Elmira chapter of the Metal Militia?
Thumbs up.
Is that
Okay.
okay?
Same person.
Also,
Yeah, that's the chapter I got adopted to.
Okay.
okay.
So big shout out to Ted Kohler and Bobby Joe.
There you go.
Excellent.
Same person says also an 840 self handout bench and that's incredible, which it is.
Yeah, it is right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach.
We're all in agreement. That's amazing.
1 rep max.
1 rep max. In his poly remarks, I totally agree. I have noticed my denim work is relatively easier after using my Dark Side Atlas or Slingshot Ram for a few weeks. Would he recommend the black or red overkill?
I use the red. Now don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure that the red is a little bit more stretchy.
Okay.
So it allows for an easier touch,
Okay.
but it has really awesome pop.
I would recommend that to 1 rep.
Now, the black, I believe the black is a stronger material. A lot more hard to touch. And this is just from, you don't quote me on any of this. But yeah, I think the black one is actually a stronger material. I believe.
That's all right.
But
That's correct. That's correct, Brian. I have both shirts.
Yeah. Both strong as hell. Don't get me wrong.
Strong as hell, but the red one is stretchier, and I like that myself.
Yeah, I've never used the black one, so I can't give my opinion on it. For multiply shirts, the only thing I've actually used, in my honest opinion, is the overkill, and that's because Rudy said that he saw some potential in me, and I was lucky enough to have him make me one.
I call the red shirt the Deadpool shirt. I don't think Rob liked that too much.
Yeah.
we coined the nickname that shirt when I brought it into the gym. It's the Deadpool shirt. So
yeah,
all
but I absolutely love getting into it when I can. It's just you definitely need somebody to set them arms because
yeah,
the arms are the key. If the arms are not set, that shirt's gonna feel like dog crap.
and that is the truth.
Yeah, so the arms, the sleeves, they play the biggest part. So that's where I would say, unless you are a seamster or a seamstress or have one in your family, get custom made.
Are you hearing that? Are you hearing that 1 rep max? We're talking about you.
If you're going Titan, contact Anderson Powerlifting, buy it from them, because then they will customize your shirt. If you order it from Titan and Titan itself, you don't get custom made, and Anderson will not do it without charging you a lot of money.
There you go.
And actually, I don't think they'll touch it if you don't buy it from them.
Oh.
But again, don't quote me on that. And then overkill, if you want a great shirt that lasts a really long time, overkill is a great shirt. And I'm not saying it just because I have one. I'm saying it because I love mine. It's great material. It's actually pretty comfortable to wear, other than the fact that it bites the one arm, but
Yeah.
I can deal with that. But metal, there's some federations that won't let you use a metal shirt.
Yeah, never wore one.
Unless you cover up the logo nowadays.
Weird times.
Yeah, so it's I would just say if you want to go poly, you know, buy new and get it custom tailored to fit you perfectly.
Yep.
And then don't gain a pound.
All right,
Yeah.
Chewbacca's got a question.
It's not really a question. Chewbacca, Nebraska's own Incredible Hulk, Brian Forbes.
That's right. Who we got here? Tim
Bye,
Odell.
buddy.
Tim Odell.
Tim Odell. I think it's awesome. You're so supportive of other lifters, Ryan. More people need to be like you. And then he corrected. He didn't mean Ryan. He meant Brian.
Yeah.
He said, I'm so sorry. I'm so used to typing Ryan.
That's all right.
Too, man. He paved the way for all of us. For something to
Yeah,
do.
I thank everybody myself, man.
But yes, he was meaning you, but he's so used to typing Ryan. So it's awesome. You're so supportive of other
Others.
lifters, Brian.
Brian.
More people need to be like
if
you.
Ryan never hits his 1075, none of us have nothing to look forward to.
That's right.
You know? You have the Mendelssohn Kennelly, you know, from the early to mid 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got Mike Wolf, you got the Dave Hoffs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many good benchers, and there's just so much to learn about it. Like it looks simple, but there definitely is a science to it.
There
and I
is,
think once
too.
you figure that out, there's only room to grow. And as long as you stay within like I said, the comfortable parameter of where you know that you can hit perfect 3s or perfect 5s, you know, that's where you put your work in. And then once that work is done, just try for that little bit of extra every single time. Reach for that 1%. You can't go wrong.
One Rep Max has a question. I think for Brian here. Read it.
Pardon my ignorance, but when you were speaking of your coaching, Mr. Forbes, you were talking about constant overload, sort of like what Jimmy Cobe spoke of when he was here.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of the same thing there, One Rep.
But you know, it's every time, regardless whether you're raw, whether you're, you know, in the single ply shirt, the 2-ply shirt, 3-ply shirt, the unlimited shirt, there is that range that mentally you can get to. So that's that volume range where you need to work every single time. And it's not just, you know, 2 sets of 3, 3 sets of 3. Now it's going from like making 7 sets of whether you're doing, you know, you start at 415. Okay, I could hammer out 10.
Right.
At 415, you know, with a single quad. Go for it. Knock out 10. The next set you're doing 8. The next set you're doing 6. The next set now you're at your 3s. You know, so you're working that volume to where you're getting to that heavy weight as fast as possible. Now that you're in this area here,
Yes, sir.
your CNS has nothing to do but just get stronger.
Right.
So you have to put yourself in that success area. And that makes
sense, Brian.
Breaking down your CNS every session.
What?
And then doing whatever you need to do after that to start your repair so you can get back into the gym the next day and train successfully. And then repair so you can get in the next day and train successfully.
One Rep has a second part to that question. He wants to know, what are your thoughts on accommodating resistance, conjugate, etc.?
I don't use it, and that's because it doesn't work for me.
There you go.
Because
and a lot of people
with my shoulder speed bench, it's more uncomfortable, and sometimes it just outright hurts.
Yeah,
so I don't do it.
A lot of times, you know, that speed benching just destroys shoulders, man. It really does. And I know
it does because
so a lot of wear and tear.
Fact, I have what I like to call the shirt lockout.
Yes.
Compared to the training lockout. So the shirt lockout, obviously, I'm going to kind of do one of these numbers here, so you might not see my face. So the shirt lockout has to come right there.
Right.
You're fully extended. There's no other movement.
Right.
My workout lockout now is I want to be able to keep everything locked backwards in my setup. So I don't want to lock out here to where my shoulders are flaring forward.
Okay.
I want everything to stay locked back.
Okay.
So what I call my workout lockout is instead of this, I stay right there.
Okay.
Okay.
So you don't extend, you don't rotate your shoulders
That makes
forward.
sense. That makes sense, Brian.
So you don't activate any of your chest. The bench press is no chest.
That's correct.
The bench press is your back, your triceps, and the energy you can create from the floor through your leg drive. So when you start your setup, you make sure your hands are placed in the right positioning. You make sure that bar is buried into that hand.
Yes, sir.
Where that bar is equally going down the middle part of your forearm.
That's right.
So that weight is being equally dispensed from the front to the back. So when you start to move that weight is going in through your forearms, in through your elbows. That energy is transferring positively because your setup is proper. So now once that energy can start flowing through positively, now your shoulders are not, it's not a strength based, it's only a pivot point.
That makes sense, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way of putting it.
So when you ask for your handout is coming to here. It's coming to that top to mid belly, directly in the center of your mass in your upper body. So when that weight starts to lower and you start to come down to that point, everything stays in line. Everything comes down from A to B. That weight is being dispersed throughout your entire back.
Right.
Coming in from the middle. So that energy is still moving through your body positively, and now it gets down into your hip. So if you're tucked and your hips aren't flared open, and your leg and your feet aren't pressing, your heels need to press down to the floor to activate all of your butt muscle, which is going to keep it down.
Right. That makes sense.
But at the same time, you need to be driving that leg drive back into the pad, not up.
That's right. That's right.
So everything has to be pushing back. So when you come to that press, boom, it's just like you're standing up a squat.
That's right. Upper back through the bench.
Yep. So it's moving that energy positively throughout your entire body, because then you're going to get the positive reaction going into the press. If your setup is crap and you don't practice it, and you don't, within the volume, you don't get the setup correct.
Right.
The weight's going to feel heavy. You're not going to be stable whether you're wide foot or tucked.
That's true.
And then you lose all control.
That's right.
So now you're shaking all the way down to your touch point, at which point you got a 50-50 shot.
That's true, Brian.
You're either going to be successful or you're wearing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you take that time and you build with that control, with that stability. Now you get that weight in your hands. Everything is controlled. Everything can come down nice and smooth. You load the shirt properly. You get the proper reaction to a nice smooth press. So it's
cut and dry, man. I got it. I got one more question I'll read, then I'll turn it over to Ashley. Tristan Breen dropped by here.
Hey.
He said, "Hello, Brian. Hello, Benchmonster crew. Hope you're healing up, Tristan." All right,
Yeah,
Ashley.
no kidding.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us.
That ain't no
Tristan.
kid, Tristan, man. Take care of that.
He'll bounce back.
Oh, he will. He's a very strong young
Yeah.
man. Very strong young man, and very admirable too.
Yes.
Teacher, and I believe a published author.
Really?
Wow, really?
2 times over. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything. Sorry, Tristan.
Well,
I'm proud of you though.
he's gonna. We're gonna have to get him on the show.
It's very cool.
Oh, he's
Talk about
He's-
things.
we don't like talk, but I know from like watching him and talking to like my coach who had to help him at a WPO.
Right?
Absolutely incredible human being. Very young man.
Yes.
Teacher of, I think, grade school.
Right?
And like I said, a published author.
Damn.
Absolutely incredible. Very admirable.
Nice.
And he also is really good friends with a friend of mine, Bob Merck, who, yeah, so we just kind of, we interchange conversation every once in a while, but great human being.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Okay. Very,
Definitely has a lot to offer.
very cool.
Right, Ashley. Howard Weingarten has a question for Brian. I got this.
Brian, if you could maybe put on a video on YouTube channel on that PVC press where the band is pulling you down towards your feet. Sounds like something I'd love to see.
Yeah, that's the one we were talking
So,
about. I want a
more of
video of that
comment than a
myself.
question, but
Yeah.
Yep.
apparently they want to see a video of that, so you got work to do.
All right.
Yeah.
One Rep Max has a question.
Not a question. These are there's a
Comments.
difference between comment and question.
Sorry.
One Rep Max. Sadly, everyone suddenly has questions for me. He's at work right now. He watches every week and has to work, so he's kind of like doing both. So sadly, everyone suddenly has questions for me or has to tell me something when this is getting interesting. Haha. So I will have to watch this again. The band explanation is intriguing as AF. So sorry, One Rep Max. You'll have to catch it later.
You'll catch it tomorrow.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah, 2.5 hours we're going on, man. This is a great interview. So, wealth full of knowledge.
Oh, yes. Great interview. Diane Winch, this chat on Benchmonster was so awesome to watch and listen. Great job.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Diane.
That's my mom again.
Nice. Thanks, Mom, for watching. CJ Morgani, great interview, Brian. I enjoyed hearing about your self-lift-offs. Very useful information. I've really been wanting to try shirted bench, but wasn't sure how it would work without a handoff.
You just got to be absolutely insane. That's it.
A little bit crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
That is the one credential that comes in handy.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be mentally unstable.
There you go, Brian. Or CJ.
One Rep Max. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but I will have to watch this stream later. Work is hectic, and they won't leave me alone. Ha ha ha. Have a great rest of your week. Hope to see your 1121 soon, Mr. Forbes.
Yeah. CJ Morgani.
CJ Morgani. Yeah, the red is stretchier. The black is stiff for a squat suit. Rudy recommended black, and deadlift he recommended red. I'd say just reach out to Rudy and he can help you choose.
Yeah, Rudy's a good guy, knows his shit.
Oh, yes, he does.
You know, if you're a wide stance puller, you know, he knows what to do. If you're a wide leg squatter, standard leg squatter, he knows what to do.
Nice.
As far as bench goes, if you're a shirted closer grip, you know, he knows what to do with your shirt. I like fingers on the ring,
That's
so I'm
where,
wide.
that's where I'm at.
So he knew that I needed a little bit more angled sleeves. So
Wow.
if you want to go the overkill route, reach out to Rudy Rosales. He makes an absolute great equipment.
He does.
And that's all I know. So I'm not going to talk about Enzer, and I'm not going to talk. I know a lot of people that use Enzer and they love it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've never used it, so I have nothing to add to. I have nothing to add to that argument.
CJ has a question for Brian. This is a good one.
Where?
Right here.
Which is best for your bench?
I don't know if he's referencing.
What?
That's what I don't know. What's best for your bench? The question before, he's talking about Rudy products. So are we talking about Rudy bench shirt, or are we talking about a...
Not sure.
I'm not sure what type of bench we're talking about here, CJ. If you could chime in and clarify what type of manufacturer you want to use, we can come up with an answer for you.
I can definitely attest, even without knowing the proper question. I can probably say whatever your strength level is, whatever your equipment knowledge is, if you are a beginner, whether you go poly, whether you go band shirt, for the band shirts, I would at least start off by using the one ply or a combo bench, you know, the bench bands.
Right.
For the reason of it will at least help you overload past your raw. It will at least shock your body. It will at least start the process of strengthening the bone density of your forearms, your shoulder joints, your elbow joints. It'll at least like get you that kind of tight tuck feel. Sometimes that's a little, you know, awkward to get used to at first. And then once you kind of learn how to just settle into everything, once the weight comes out, everything just kind of falls together, and then you just go from there. So once you find that, I would say if you're just starting out, a 1-ply band to a 1-ply, maybe a 2-ply band shirt,
Right.
because that'll have the carryover. You work that 1-ply
Right.
to a weight to where you're close to a touch, and it gives you something to work to in a 2-ply shirt. If you're starting off in poly, if you're mentally unstable like myself, you just go 3-ply and just screw it. If you're not mentally unstable and you just want to get into like just shirted lifting, I would probably say go with the single ply, because of the amount of the amount of range that the amount of range give that it has. So if you're in a 1-ply shirt, you got like a range where a little bit of play. So say it gives you like 4 inches of play to where you're coming down to try to get that touch.
Mm-hmm.
So you can shift a little bit to get it to come down. You go to a multi-ply, that range turns into like maybe 1.5 to 2 inches. So now you have this, that if you get out of this, you're going to lose it. And then you get to a 3-ply, you have a half inch to 1 inch. So you got to be really dialed in, and you got to hit that spot every single time. If you don't, you're going to be tucked too much, and you're going to rely too much on your elbows and the front part of your shoulder muscle to press that weight. And if you come too far down, well, your body's going to buckle, and you're going to wear that stuff in your gut. So definitely take the time, know what you can handle, and then you can make your decision on what shirt you want to try. But as I said before, they complement each other. So if you have the means necessary, 1-ply poly shirt,
Yeah.
one ply training band, and a 2-ply band shirt.
There you go.
I would suggest buying all 3 if the means are there. If not, you got to decide. You want to have fun and learn technique, or do you want to be on the technical side the entire time? Because poly is going to be technical the entire time with a little bit of fun. The band is still high technical, but it's high reward and a lot of fun.
Okay.
So again, I believe they balance themselves out, and I can enjoy both. So some people enjoy both. Other people are just, screw the band shirt. I'm poly all day long. And that's their decision. They chose what they're good in.
Mm-hmm.
The next question, Brian, is kind of a 2-part question. I'm going to put them together in the best way I see fit to answer them. He doesn't have a name. It looks like a smiley face. If you are getting started lifting again, what are some of your best advice you would give to yourself to get crazy strong raw bench? And then he said, in the second part of a question, what's your best advice for me going from a 315 bench to 400 plus? Thank you, sir. So kind of he sounds like he's at that area, and he's just getting started benching again. I don't know what's going on, why he had a layoff, but you want to tackle that in the simplest form?
Yeah, I would. When it comes to raw lifting, your body naturally can only handle so much. So if you want to get stronger, you still have to reach for that 1%.
That's right.
So if you're consistently hitting that 315, let's start working a little heavier. You're hitting that 315 raw. Now let's start going to a 325 one board.
Right.
Now let's go 330, 335 to a 2 board, but now go for 2.
Okay.
Because the range of motion has decreased. So the amount of muscle and the amount of energy you're saving, not going the full distance, you're going to be able to get a lot more output. So you go for a little extra and you go for that 2. But now with raw lifting, when you're getting to that board work, you want at least 2 guys, if not a really strong dude that you trust standing behind you. The only reason I say the two guys when you're at that, when you're at that stage, say you have that moment when that thing just starts teetering, you can at least have one guy hold that one side up so you can scoot out from the bar. Because a lot of these dudes, they're in their gyms, they're not benching on things that are engineered for themselves. They're
Right.
benching on them weird fucking, sorry about my language.
That's all right.
They're using them weird hook benches.
Yeah.
To where you have to bring that thing way out here.
Yeah.
Get on a comp bench. Get into a power rack. Get into something to where you're making that hand out like 3 to 4 inches away from that rack.
Right.
You're working 8 feet, trying to throw that weight back into your face. You're trying to press it, straight up.
Right.
Not up here. You're not trying to lock that thing out over your face. You're trying to lock it out over your chest. So get into something to where you can consistently get that setup worked perfectly.
Right.
And then everything else after that is accessory. Everything. So if you want to build your raw bench, just bench, but bench smart. Warm ups. Get to that 315 as fast as possible. Not waste your energy going to that 1 to 2 block. At 325 to 340. And if you can bust out a 350, go for it. Use those blocks and make sure you're establishing that touch every single time. And then once the touch is established, you build past that. And now that 315 turns into that 325 that you're one boarding. And now that 325 that you were one boarding now touching, now you're one boarding 335. And eventually that's going to become your touch.
Goddamn, Brian, that's some great advice right there.
Yeah, it's a continual building process, which I say invest the time in yourself. If you want a 400 bench, invest the time. Do the things that you need to do to get that number.
Right.
Triceps, back, lots of volume, but keep that volume where it works perfect. Don't try to squeeze out another rep, drop down in weight, get perfect reps. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I program for somebody and I see a lot of people like, 3 sets of 10. Let's do 10 sets of 3. You do 3 sets of 10, what's going to happen is you're going to get that first set. The first 10, out of that first 10, let's say 8 are perfect. And 2 of them you fought. You go to that second set. 5 are perfect. 3 were okay. 2 sucked. Now you get to that third set. 3 of them were perfect. 5 of them sucked. And the rest of them sucked even more. And now you're sore and now you hurt. What good did that do?
Yeah.
It didn't do you any good.
Right.
So if you're comfortable around that 275 to 315 area, 275 for 3. 285 for 3. 285 for 3. 285 for 3. 290 for 3.
Yeah.
295 for 3. Get those triples. Get that 10 sets of 3. Because you're going to leave that workout with 30 perfect reps.
Yeah.
Compared to that other guy that did that 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
He walked out of there with 10 perfect reps and the rest were dog shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's going to grow? Who's going to be more successful in the long run?
Not him.
No.
Nope.
I hope
Because now he's at home. He's hurting.
Right.
He's not going to be able to go to the gym for the next week. He's at home. Well, that guy that did my 10 sets of 3,
right.
He's feeling like $1 million. His confidence level's up here.
Mm-hmm.
And now all he has to do is build. Because he now has a safety parameter where he's getting perfect volume. But in the long end, he's growing. He's going all the way up to here. Eventually, that kid, young man, whatever.
He's young. He's 22. In fact, he just chimed in and said, "Thank you so much for the advice." He said he just started lifting again after I was training arm wrestling for 2 years. And he appreciates the advice, Brian. That was in depth, man. And you can't put a dollar on that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, Brian, we're at the end of our questions, man. We're going to have to shut this thing down now.
That was
All right.
awesome, man.
Yeah, 2.5
That was a
hours,
great
man.
interview,
Hope he
yeah.
didn't keep you up too late over
Yeah,
there.
I hope that's okay.
Brian.
No, I still at work right now.
Okay. Okay. Brian, this has been fun. I like to
Yeah,
think we
this
can
was
do this
great.
again. Have you on another time. You're always open, man.
Yeah.
Just schedule a date with me, man. We'll put you on here. You're always open to come on here and rap about where you're going, what you've done, when you do it, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, this was really
Well,
fun.
tell you what, I got one other goal in mind.
Okay.
Okay.
We got to share the platform.
Yeah, we do.
Be cool.
You know, whatever happens to my neck here, I think I need to get a cortisone shot, is what they're telling me, because it's no joke, man. It's after I can hold 225 on the bench. I do it for 1 rep, 2 rep, and then the right arm just falls down. I've been dealing with it for 5 weeks. I've got a pinched nerve in the C6. They think had some chiropractic work on it. I'm on Tiny Meeker's anti-inflammatory products. I've been getting a lot of feedback from other people that had this typical injury, and they say a cortisone shot healed it. So I think I need to go in and get that done, because it's not getting any better. And I'm not allowed to bench anything, because I go in on heavy days and I can go 225 for 3 reps, and then it just gives out. It's really depressing.
So I have the no clavicle. I have a deteriorating deteriorating disc disease.
Right.
My 4
Yeah.
5. Basically what I do is I go to the chiropractor basically twice a month.
Aggressive adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever I need at that point.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, ice bath.
I iced that
Works.
son of a bitch, and it feels great.
Yeah, it works every time. And dude, cupping therapy.
Cupping.
If you've never tried
I've never done it.
dude, it is amazing, and I feel like $1 million after I do it.
I'm open to anything that would heal this, because I'm losing hope.
Yeah,
I really am, Brian. It's getting frustrating.
Yeah, cupping therapy works. It's amazing, along with ice baths. And,
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll try cupping therapy. Somebody said acupuncture too, but
yeah.
I'll just do the cortisone shot. If that'll fucking heal it and release that nerve and allow me to use that arm, man, because it's like a nightmare I can't wake up from, man. It sucks. No. I mean, I can't even.
So in your raw, that's when you feel that arm just go dead.
It's on the bench. It's 225 rolling dumbbells. I can do them with 60s.
This happen in the shirt.
In the shirt, when I use a super wide grip, I went up to 900. But what I'm worried about is doing more damage, because I'm compensating, because there's no stability over here. There's no lat engagement either. So this arm is just on its own out here, and it wants to fly all over the place. Does that make sense? Okay. It's the weirdest, and I don't want to get hurt worse than I am now. And the reason I say that is I took out 225 on the bench, and they handed it out to me kind of fast, and I couldn't engage it into my lat to catch it, and it rolled forward and buckled my shoulder. It rolled like completely forward, and I'm just going to get hurt, and that's what scares me too. I know what's wrong, and I know I like to get in a shirt, but I don't want to tear anything in the shoulder, while I'm fucking around waiting for it to heal. So I need to get it healed. That's just the next step I have to take. So.
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm running Tiny Meeker's MSM and chondroitin and stuff for 4 weeks, and then once October comes, I'll reevaluate it, and then I'll look for some cupping, and then make an appointment for a cortisone shot, and hopefully that alleviates it, and I can come in and it'll be like starting over. I haven't had 1,000 pounds in my hand for 2 months, so it'll be a nice mountain to climb again. Thank God, muscle memory. I'll come back.
We're working on something big here. Who's going to be either late August or September of next year.
Who's we?
Me and my family.
Okay. Keep me in the loop, Brian. I mean, I should be good to go by then.
Well, it's going to be something. We're doing three chapters are coming together to put together one big meet.
Okay.
We're doing it here in Nebraska at the steakhouse that my buddy owns.
Okay.
He's got a big ballroom. We're gonna try to do like the live bands. Try to get money raised where they'll cater to all the lifters.
Will Bill Crawford be there?
I don't know.
He's a wild animal, man. I like hanging out with him, but he's crazy.
If this meet takes place, that's my goal, is to get him down here.
Okay.
But I kind of promised him that I would try to get up there too.
I like to come share the platform with you, man. And when the day comes, I'm free to roam. And I don't need a vaccination card to get on a plane. I'll fly anywhere. So
Yeah, like I said, we're trying to do it basically late August,
okay,
September.
okay,
In the ballroom where I did the 10-15.
okay,
It's the same room.
Okay.
So we'll have decent lighting, live bands, try to get food catered.
Oh, awesome, Brian. That's all you got to do.
And they got an open bar.
Oh, it's win-win.
They got a nice, pretty good selection.
Win-win. Hell yeah. It sounds like fun, Brian. You gotta ask me twice.
Really cool.
And I've never been to Nebraska, so I want to come down and experience Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's boring. It's boring.
Well, it's boring, but it's a part of the country, I've never experienced, man. I want to meet some Nebraskans.
It's an all right place to live. It's quiet.
It's country living, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I live like a farm town.
Nothing wrong with that.
Everybody's a farm.
Nothing wrong with that, man. That's what my grandfather grew up, and that's what I worked on when I was young. I had a dry land wheat farm, so yeah, I'm familiar with the farming aspect of it. So yeah, it's America, and it's a place I've never been to, and I want to experience it all, and do a bench meet, and come out there 100% and put up a big number.
Well, all right.
All right, Brian. Well, it's good having you on here, man. Like I said, you're more than welcome. Anytime, Brian. You just let me know. Come back on anytime, man. This was a win-win show here.
This was
Thank you for your time.
Very fun. We appreciate you spending your Thursday evening with us.
Awesome show, Brian. I'm very, very impressed.
Last thing.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
To one of my sponsors, Gunpower.
Okay.
Pre-workout. They have various different flavors. We have a recovery. This is the absolute best stuff on the planet.
For recovery or for pre-workout?
Both.
Both. Can you email me a link? I'll order some. I'm basically
330 pounds, right? One scoop. And if you're one of them intense guys, then they have the Gun Blast, which is the high stem.
Oh, shit.
Blue raspberry flavor. This stuff makes you go 1,000 miles an hour.
Can you send me a link in our message or something where I can get some of that and I'll order it?
And on top of that, if you use, it's either, I don't know if he's changed it yet, but you either use Nomad 10.
Okay.
And you get a 10% discount.
Okay.
Or I think he changed it.
Well, let me know.
All capitalized, Helmira, HELLMIRA.
Yes.
10.
Okay.
So it's one of the two. I don't know if he's changed it yet. And then, last but not least, Battle Ready Salts.
How strong is that shit?
This will basically choke you out from the other side of the room.
I want to try it. I got to try some of that too. Add that to my order.
It's absolutely beautiful. One of our big iron guys. He is a avid. He put it up his nose. It was instant tears. He throws it up against the wall and it went everywhere.
Okay, gotta have some.
And my eyes were watering and I was 13 to 15 feet away.
Yeah, I'm interested, Brian. I'm getting all three.
Intense, and it's just you can get on Instagram.
Okay. Battle Ready.
It's my buddy and my teammate Ted Wallace Kohler.
Okay, I've seen his name before.
Battle Ready or Ted Wallace Kohler, and they have 1,100 cents available.
Oh, nice.
1,100.
Wow.
The company they use has 1,100 different scents.
Wow.
But what they have on the bottle is you have peppermint, whiskey, bourbon, smoked meat, bourbon and bud, wake and bake, basic bitch, Irish coffee, which smells amazing.
Shit.
Plain. And then the bomb, which is more intense. This one is my absolute favorite.
The bomb.
Yep.
That's what I want.
And then they have other.
I want the bomb.
So if you contact him. I don't think he would have a problem with getting whatever scent that if it's available that
Okay.
you can get.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm going to order it tomorrow.
Own scent right now, it's going to be Steakhouse, and it's going to be called RTB after my sponsor, my buddy who owns the steakhouse. It's Round the Bend Steakhouse,
Okay.
South Bend, Nebraska. Best beef in Nebraska,
You're making me hungry now.
hands down.
Okay. We're going to eat when we come down to Nebraska. I hope you know that.
Yes. So,
All right, Brian, I'll put it in order tomorrow. I will.
all right, I'll send it to you.
All right, Brian, thank you. You have a
Well,
good night,
thank you
everybody.
so much.
We'll do it
Thanks
again
for
next week.
joining us.
It was an honor.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Yeah,
Good
it was
night.
really fun. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Later, guys. I don't know how to hang up. There it is. Bye, guys.